Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to NerdPod Generations, episode 172. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies.
Sorry about last week, folks. Daddy got his first plague of the year thanks to children in school and all that.
Yeah, it all started up again.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this year is going to be better, though, since I'm not working in a grocery store with a bunch of people coughing in my face.
Yeah.
So hopefully I won't get pneumonia and the flu like I got last year.
Yes.
Let's
hope for that. You'll get whatever's going around the office, but that should be it.
And even that, I only there 3 days a week, and I have a cubicle that's pretty separated from everybody.
I gotta say, having only worked in open office cultures, I wish I had had a cubicle.
Oh, I love it.
That would have been so much better. I know everybody was in the 90s was like, oh, cubicle life, I'm going to die. I'm in a little stationary pod and I can't see. Let me tell you, it's better.
Oh, it's so much better.
It's way better than the alternative. Let me tell you.
I have pictures of my family. I got the metal tin movie posters.
Yeah.
So I have what do I have? Ghostbusters and Young Frankenstein I have up right now. And it's like, I have it decorated I have some Funkos in there, everything. It's awesome. It's
exactly.
my space. I love
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
When I was in an office, we didn't have space. So now I don't work in an office. I just work for an office in my home.
Yeah.
Which is basically now my home is my office.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And it looks nice. You got your Funkos all around here as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got way too many of them.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
We're going to have to send you to some kind of
It's an ever-increasing problem, but,
Do they have AA for Funko Pop?
They should at this point.
Yeah, I think they should, too.
I went to a GameStop yesterday, and they were trying to sell me on their membership card. And at first, I was like, oh, yeah, sure, this sounds great. And then they were like, it's $25 for the year. I was like, never mind, we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, if you're a collector, it pays for itself in 5 journeys. And I'm like, no.
It's tough, but you're still GameStop.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Is that ultimately, after everything that's happened and all the ups and downs and backs and forths, you're still GameStop.
You're still GameStop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You became a full hero, which we'll talk about full heroes later.
I wasted so much of my money at GameStop over the last 20 years.
Well, they get you with that bogus trade-in policy.
I only worked once in my favor to where I wanted a PS2.
Uh-huh.
So I went to trade in my GameCube, and they gave me $100 more than they should have.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I got the PS2 for free.
Yeah.
And I got the hell out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen.
No, never happens.
That is they looked at college bookstores, and they said, we're going to do this for video games.
Yeah.
Where we're going to upsell the shit out of this, $20 book, so we're going to sell it for $120.
And I do love, have you ever heard of a YouTuber named Austin Evans?
No.
Love the guy. He does a lot of tech stuff. He's very computer savvy, but he'll do these episodes where he will buy used systems from GameStop or DK Oldies.
Yeah.
And then sell them back to them. Exactly how he got them to see, and the difference is unbelievable.
It's the thing, is that that always pissed me off in college, and every time I thought about trading in stuff at GameStop.
Yeah.
Was knowing how much they were giving me versus how much they were going to turn around and offer for it. Where it's like, oh, we'll give you $20 for this $20 book. And it's like, but I paid $120 for it. And then they're going to turn around and be like, used $90.
Yeah.
But motherfucker, you stupid asshole.
It's fucking ridiculous. So, folks, NerdPod Generations 172. That means there are 171 past episodes of Pure Gold. So please go to nerdpodgen.com. There are links not only to the more recent episode on our homepage, but also there are links to YouTube, where we have a nice channel where Al is putting up clips of old and new episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We also have links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can find us on the podcast site of your choice.
Yeah,
everybody's
got one.
Give us a listen, and if you like what you're hearing, there is a place on our website where you can send us directly to our email, just questions, concerns, topics you want to hear, shows, movies you want us to watch.
Yeah, I do. There's a little bit, I don't know if you've noticed the pachyderm in the corner, but there's an elephant in the room.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about how this is going to be a second very special episode?
It is going to be a smaller, very special episode.
The craziest thing happened.
Yes.
And, let me put it this way. I open every episode with hello, friends and enemies.
Yeah.
This was the first week where I genuinely stopped and I was like, well, it depends on who the enemies are, I think.
So hello, friends.
Hello, friends, and any enemies who are not insane.
Yes.
I don't want to limit it, because obviously we want anybody and everybody to listen, because if you're that crazy, you need somebody to tell you that you're that crazy.
That's true. That's a true statement.
But The funniest thing happened this week, and I can't help but feel like maybe I don't want all of our enemies around because, God, I don't like them right now.
So why don't we get into that first?
Yeah.
We'll touch on this, and folks, this will not be a long
No,
topic.
this is not going to be the whole episode. This is just like Kimmel got suspended. It's important to note he did not get canceled.
He did not get canceled.
He has not been fired.
Yes.
He is still an employee of ABC.
Yes.
But he got suspended over basically just saying that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by someone that shared his moral values. Essentially, he said that the guy that assassinated him. If you also
listen to it, though, he's not even saying that. He's saying what he said was the right was so quick to say that he was the assassin was left that he said that it wasn't even necessarily that the guy had his beliefs, but they didn't give the opportunity to really find out what this guy believed in before they automatically jumped on the fact that he was.
And he's a MAGA guy.
And his family was. I don't know if he still was. I know he was going through that transition phase maybe of political leanings.
Maybe, but the fact is that he comes from a MAGA background.
He comes from a MAGA background, yes.
And that is enough for me to be like, listen,
yes.
Even if he is changing his political beliefs in one way or another, where is he coming from?
Yes.
He's coming from this side.
Let me preface this, everything we're going to say by both of us agree with this, I believe.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact we do. No one should die.
No.
No one should die. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die. It was the worst thing in the world to have this happen, and this is the reason I say this.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when Charlie Kirk was assassinated is it martyred him. All of the horrible, terrible things he had said over his time and why he got to where he got was by saying awful hate speech, worse than Jimmy Kimmel ever said.
Jimmy Kimmel's never said any hate speech in his life, unless you count Matt Damon.
Exactly.
If you count Matt Damon, then yes, we have to have a conversation.
A joke, but what? And this is what I want to tell to anyone who's thinking of doing this, to anyone to assassinating anyone that doesn't share their political beliefs.
That's not the answer.
Not the answer. The answer is, one of my favorite things to do was to watch these debates between Charlie Kirk and someone who had opposite views, and them showing how horrible and awful a human being he was.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can fix this. You cannot do that by taking this man away from him. He does have 2 young kids, and I feel awful for the young kids. I will not say I feel awful for the wife, because the wife, I've heard her, she does not seem to be a nice person either.
No.
But once again, no one deserves to die. But the problem with doing this, and the same thing happened with Trump. A lot of people believe Trump got elected because of the faked assassination.
I think it was.
I think it was fake too. But let's take that out and just say failed assassination attempt. That propelled him to the presidency. They got to understand, you cannot. We have to use our brains.
Yeah.
And you can be tough and use your brains. Like, one thing I'm getting really hopeful of is all this autocrat shit that is getting pushed through the government right now. When the Democrats take power, and they will eventually, they need to take advantage of this shit instead of saying, oh, we're bigger than this. No, that time is over.
No,
you cannot be bigger.
That time ended when we lost 3 seats.
Yes.
When we lost 3 seats, you needed to abandon any moral high ground you said you had.
And I hate when these things happen for a lot of reasons, but not only had the last time something happened with the Israel-Gaza, I had to agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
I had to agree with Ted Cruz. And I hate Ted Cruz more than any person on this earth, pretty much. Mm-hmm. But even he said, when the FCC chair came out and made the threats against... He said, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Even Ted Cruz is saying, wait, this is not America.
Well, and that's the thing that pisses me off. So we're going to move off the assassination because I don't want to talk about that.
Yes, no, that's done. We're talking about the fallout after the
I don't want to talk about whether he deserves sympathy or not or any of these other things.
No.
I don't want to talk about it. I have my very strong feelings on the subject,
Yes.
and I'm going to leave it at that. The thing that pisses me off is that for anybody who is living under 6 rocks and doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about, Jimmy Kimmel... In response to what Jimmy Kimmel said, the head of the FCC, who is a Trump guy, like literally placed there by Trump, and as a result, of course, like all Trump appointees, has no fucking clue how to do his job.
Yeah.
He came out and said, we're going to suspend ABC's license to broadcast. And so ABC, in response, suspended Kimmel. And apparently, according to people in the room, no one in the room wanted to do it, but the head execs were literally pissing themselves over what was going on. Like, they were scared shitless over this. To which I say, grow some fucking nuts. Do you know what happens if you call his bluff? One of two things happens. One, they actually take you off the air, in which case you become a folk hero to the masses.
Yep.
You call their bluff, they do it. Now they have to explain why GMA isn't on TV. Now they have to explain why The Rookie isn't on TV.
Yeah.
Now they have to explain why all these shows that people love and escape to aren't on TV, including the old codgers who love this asshole. Okay? So you immediately turn them into a folk hero, turn ABC into a folk hero. If you just say, okay, fine, suspend our license, do it, see what happens.
Yeah.
B, it also gives you the opportunity to use platforms like Disney Plus, which are international platforms, to host those programs and really rub it in the face of this asshole administration.
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't have done it in the first place, and now you're gaining credit for it. 3, what would you as executives have actually lost if you had stood your ground on this? Because I can tell you right now, you've lost $3 billion of ad revenue.
Oh, yeah.
So what would you have actually lost if you had stood your ground and said, we will not kowtow to this type of threat? We won't do it, and we won't listen to it.
The first time, I thought I had heard that there is also a merger in the works.
Of course there is. All these companies want mergers, and that's why Trump has them by the balls.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so then don't go through the merger.
Yeah.
Then don't make money.
And the same day he said this...
You're already multimillionaires. What more money do you need to make through these mergers?
Because they're fucking...
It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad.
Money. But the same day, actually, I think it was the next day, after Kimmel said this innocuous statement, Brian Kilmeade on Fox in the morning flat out said, kill homeless people.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
And they're like, no apologies.
Nobody cared about that.
Off the air. He's saying to kill innocent homeless people.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Nobody cared about that.
No, and he wasn't joking.
No.
He was fucking serious.
Oh, yeah, he was fully serious.
It's
like, I don't even need to have heard the statement to know that that wasn't a joke. I saw him try and backpedal days later, but I know that that was a fully serious statement when he made it.
Yes.
Like, that's the thing, is that none of these fuckers are funny. Okay? So either your jokes suck and you should stop making them, or you're just a horrible fucking person.
Yeah.
And as I keep going back to for so many things, you're not mad at Google because Google says you're a racist. You're mad at Google because Google shows that you're a racist.
Yes.
That's why you're mad at Google. If you stop saying racist shit, when people Googled you, racist shit wouldn't come up. It's not that Google is putting racist shit in where you're saying stuff. No, you're doing that all on your own, and then Google just reports it. So stop being a fucking piece of shit. I think that's the answer.
It's the same thing during the first Trump administration when you would type in idiot in Google, his face would come up. It's because we'll stop being a fucking idiot.
Then stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
And that's the thing, though, with what happened, and once again, we're not going to bring it up again. They are leaning so hard into turning this into, this is why Trump needs to be an autocrat. This is why we need to fight. And it's like, they're talking about hate speech, and it makes me want to strangle him because the king of all hate speech is the president of the United States.
Yeah, is Orange Bastard.
Is the president of the United fucking States.
Yeah.
He's the one saying fucking deport people. He's the one saying beat people up. He's the one saying kill people. He's the one that is pushing these wars in these other countries, and it's like, being so fucking stupid. I can't take the idiocy in this country.
Well, you know, liberals are just huge gun nuts, so they're the ones that are walking around with the MKs and everything. Oh, wait, no, that's the other side.
Yeah.
That's the other side that have armed themselves to the teeth over stuff.
And this happened in a red state where students are allowed to bring guns into the classroom. It is an open carry state for students to bring weapons into the classroom. So it's like,
it is the biggest farce in the world that the Democrats and any liberal-leaning millionaires are allowing any of this to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it just shows that they are just as evil. It's the same as cops saying there are just some bad apples. If that were the case, then why haven't you gotten rid of the bad apples?
Yeah.
Then why are there still bad apples? I think the whole thing is bad. I think left is bad, right is bad. The whole thing is bad. All of them are bad. All of them have to be taken out. Not in that way. I mean, taken out of power, removed from seats of power. I mean, like a full, everybody, next term, we do this British style, everybody's up for election. and you have 2 weeks to campaign.
And a lot of these mass shootings are being done by younger people.
Yes.
And it's because they're at a stage of their lives where they're still trying to figure shit out. And if they get into a place to where they're like, I think I want to kill somebody, and they have access to a gun, they're probably going to do it.
Well, like, not only that, which side is it that talks all the time about how all the tragedies that happen are fake and are being put on by bad actors?
Yeah.
What side is radicalizing their youth? Because if we're talking about radicalizing youth on the left side, that just means like gay rights and trans rights. Like, yeah. I don't understand. Less money for the powerful, more money for everybody. We got to fix the housing market. We got to fix this. There's issues with the Middle East. Of course, the left is not perfect. The left is definitely not perfect. But like, if we're talking about the most radical elements of each party, it's rights for people that don't have them versus everyone is against us, kill them all, start the apocalypse now.
Yeah.
So which side do you think would be most likely to carry out attacks?
That indoctrination debate where it's like, ooh, one teacher in one school in California said the word gay in class. They're indoctrinating our kids. Where then every single Republican wants religion taught in school. Yeah. That's indoctrination. That is the Holy Mary #1 indoctrination of history is religion.
To say nothing of the fact that the fact that you want religion in schools, but you don't abide by religion shows that you are going to hell. You are going straight to hell because you want this. There's this false belief that the only way you have morality is through the church. No. You know how I know that's not true? Because the church doesn't have fucking morality, and it never has. I would love to be able to say, oh, well, the sex abuse scandal fucker, let's go back to the fucking Crusades, okay? Yeah. It's been the whole time. The whole fucking time since the Bible was translated out of Greek. It's been the whole fucking time. Okay?
And think about this. Every time we said Pledge of Allegiance, it's indoctrination because
one country under God.
One country under God didn't exist until the 1950s. Mm-hmm. Long after the Pledge of Allegiance was written. I mean, I don't like pledges of allegiance.
No. I'm thoroughly against them at this point in my life.
North Korea. It's like, no, I shouldn't have to. And it all boils down to this with America. Those people who are slamming their chests with red hats on, and yes, I am going to throw out the MAGA group here.
Oh, it's because it's them.
We are Americans. We are patriots. It's like, no, because you don't believe in anything America is. Yeah. You don't believe in freedom. You don't believe in freedom of speech. Like, people that got canceled, that were coming out with like anti-gay and racist rhetoric, they weren't getting killed or thrown in jail. They were just saying, hey, you can't do it on this platform. You have to find a different platform to do it.
Yeah.
That's not really canceling.
You're just getting kicked out. They're just taking away the platform that they own. Yeah. So they're saying you can't stand on my apple crate.
Exactly.
That's all they're doing. You can go get a different apple crate and do it somewhere else.
That's what
you
Trump
just
did
can't
with
do
Truth
it
Social.
here.
When he got kicked off Twitter, he created Truth Social. It's like, fine. He has the right to do that.
He can do that, and I can mock him for doing that. But, like, you can't fucking kill people because you don't agree with them.
Yes.
If we get to that point, it's going to go real bad so fast.
Or you can't kick them off the air because you are a thin-skinned, weak-orange, old fucking douchebag.
Who then came out the next day and said, no one should criticize me.
Yes.
Anybody who criticizes me should be thrown off the air.
Yes.
No, fuckhead. No. Also, we have the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Do you think the FCC controls the internet?
No.
What kind of fucking idiot are you?
But that's also a thing where he's so stupid and most of his followers are so dumb. They don't understand he is a civil servant.
Yes.
He works for us.
He's our underling.
He's our underling. We have the right to walk up to him and call him a dumb piece of shit to his face.
Yes.
And have no repercussions.
No. I can't lay hands on him. I can't spit on him.
And I can't threaten his life.
I can't throw anything at him.
Threaten anyone's life.
But I can tell him, you're a fucking idiot, a giant pig, a motherfucking moron, the dumbest piece of shit ever seen by God, man, the devil, any cow on earth. Every single blade of grass has never seen a dumber piece of shit than you, and they don't have eyes. That's how fucking stupid you are.
Yeah.
And nothing can happen.
No. And the hypocrisy kills me because I want to talk to some of my conservative-leaning friends and family who are so hurt every time someone says something about Trump. I'm like, what have you said about Obama and Biden?
Where were you during the Obama administration?
You were on the fucking internet going, oh, this is the worst. He's a communist. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, Dude, you have the right to do that. But then we have the right to say he's a piece of shit.
Then you know what? Then we're going to birther Trump. I don't think Trump was born here.
No.
You know what? I heard the damnedest thing. I heard he was born in Russia.
Yeah.
And he got transported over here when he was 6.
The funny thing is, you did hear about the lawsuit he brought against Bill Maher, right?
No.
Bill Maher years ago said he was the son of an orangutan, and he put a picture of an orangutan next, and they looked identical.
Yeah.
Trump sued him because Maher said, if you prove, it was during the birther thing, he said, if you show me a birth certificate saying you weren't born from an orangutan, I'll give you $1 million. He said it as a joke. Trump took him to court to try to get the money.
Yeah, of course he did.
And the judge is like...
Here's the thing. Trump has no money. You know why? Because he's terrible with money.
Yeah.
He's absolutely atrocious with it.
Our economy is
shit.
going to shit.
When he says tariffs, you know who pays for tariffs, right?
Yeah.
Not the companies.
No.
They pass that price on to you, motherfucker.
Ask Xbox.
Yes.
The Xboxes have all gone... The Xbox Series S is $400 now.
Yeah.
It's insane. The top level 2 terabyte Xbox Series X is $800.
Yeah.
First $800 console.
Yeah.
And they're all just going to go up.
That's why Nintendo, it was such a big deal when Nintendo said, we're not going to pass the tariff price on to consumers.
Like, we're going to pass it on to with the original Switch because they know that's going out.
Yeah.
But they're leaving the Switch 2 at its price.
Yeah. And they're swallowing the tariffs as a result.
And now people who criticize it, I bet, are like, you know what? Maybe that price isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Because
everything else is going
up. We'll talk
up.
about that with Nintendo later.
Yeah. But anyway, all of this is to say... Yeah. This is where we'll end this, and then we'll move on to happier fare. I canceled Disney Plus.
So did I.
And I would highly encourage anybody else to cancel Disney Plus. There is a little box where they say, "Tell us why you're canceling." Tell them why you're canceling. I did too. I got to use the term kowtowing and demagogue in one word, in one statement. Tell them, explain to them exactly why. I said very, very literally, you will not get any more money from me until Kimmel is back on the air.
Yeah.
So that's your choice now. I will, the moment Kimmel comes back on the air, I will turn the faucet back on. That is not an issue.
Yeah.
The issue is what you've done in this particular moment and the fact that you have no balls to do what is genuinely right in front of you. It's the CBS thing all over again. It's like so many instances of just like, there is a palpably right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And you are actively being paid off to do the wrong thing in that you think doing the wrong thing will give you money later on. Because I cannot imagine any other reason why you would be doing this. I've watched movies a long time.
Yeah.
It's always money. It's always money and the prestige of power.
Money and power.
It's always what it is.
Money and
that's
power.
all I can imagine this is too, is just like, even at the heights of Disney, even Bob Iger himself is saying, but I could have more if we do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And that's no. Absolutely fucking not.
I'm in the same boat. I did cancel Disney Plus. I do pay for it like a whole year at a time.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually expire until the 16th of January.
Yeah.
But once again, that gives them a few months to kind of fix things before I decide if I'm going to re-up it.
I will re-up it the moment Kimmel comes back on. The moment you do the right thing, I will give you back your money. But until then, you will not get a red cent from me.
But here's the other thing. They got to allow him to not only come back on, but come back on when, like Colbert did, when he got fired, and come back on and just
say whatever he wants.
Whatever the fuck he wants.
No quarter given. He can do and say whatever he wants because that's... Like, within, obviously, I mean, like, there might be issues over him saying fuck. But, like...
Yeah, I mean, within context.
In terms of talking about the situation.
Yeah.
He needs to be able to feel free enough to say whatever he wants. His writers and producers need to be able to feel free to say whatever they want.
Part of me almost wants it to be like a Colbert/Conan when he was kicked out of the Tonight Show thing where they do fire him, but they're like, we're going to give you like a week to say goodbye and just allow him to just trash the network,
the whole
everything.
Because they all deserve it.
Oh, they absolutely
deserve it.
They are
the fact that Disney is this spineless after everything, after all the morals, after all the parading, literally and metaphorically, after everything that they do and say and tout and claim and argue and say, oh, we're including more people of various types that haven't had the stage in our productions now, in our movies, because it's the right thing to do. And then they just write them badly and nobody likes it.
The sad thing and the underlying thing with this is something that I remember seeing on John Oliver a few years ago. It's companies like Sinclair Broadcasting, which are buying up the local channels for like 13, the local affiliates. They are the ones, they're super conservative. They were the ones that had Boris Epstein on the late night local news at the end saying these awful things about immigrants and whatnot. They're one of the main reasons behind this, because all of the affiliates that were under that Sinclair umbrella were saying we're not going to show Kimmel. And it's because they're being run by conservatives. Yeah. And that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, it's the gerrymandering thing all over again.
Oh, it's fucking terrible.
It's like, again, and this is how I know Democrats are just as guilty as anybody. I'm not some savant. I can't look at this and see through it like it's translucent. I just read what's in front of me, which means that the people that are paid to deal with these problems should definitely know about the gerrymandering and should definitely know about the Sinclairs of the world and should definitely know about all these things and should be doing something to stop them. And they don't, because of money and power.
Yes.
It's the same reason that Chuck Schumer, after everything that happened with Trump in his first 6 weeks, emailed me and said, the only way we can stop Trump is if you give me money right now.
Yeah.
That's all it is. He's not here to actually work on anything or make it better. He is here to raise money for himself so he can do it again in 3 years and not do anything in the interim.
To paraphrase the Joker, this country needs an enema.
Yes.
It really does.
And on that note...
So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to Watch, Play, Read. Sorry, folks, we had to vent on that. Yeah. But we had to let you know why we were not reviewing Alien Earth and why we...
that's the other thing that I want to talk about, just really briefly. We watched the beginning of Alien Earth. We were going to review it.
First 6 episodes.
And then this happened, and I wrote Steve, and I was like, I can't do this. I was really enjoying it. I'll say there were elements of it that I found a little weird. The whole body swapping children element of it is a little weird.
But the actors
are all really good.
It was unbelievable how well they were acting like children.
It was
unbelievable.
The one guy, Toodles.
Yes.
Oh my God. Crazy.
Dude.
Absolutely fucking bonkers.
Unbelievable.
But I love episode 5.
Episode 5
that was so fucking good.
That
like pay off like you want, like you need in a story like this. And we can't talk about any more of it because of this. So maybe one day, like Strange New World Season 3, we'll cover it at some point. But for right now...
we got to move on to move on.
Got to move on to move on.
So, Watch, Play, Read, I want to touch on one thing and then I'm going to hand it off to you because I know you have more. So... some of what I'm going to talk about for our Nintendo section because we're going to go over the Nintendo Direct. I went out to my nemesis of all nemesis restaurants the other night because my kids really wanted to go to it. A restaurant that I worked for back in the day, back in the 90s. No, late 90s. A restaurant that every time I go there, I kick myself for going there because it's so fucking terrible.
Arby's?
Applebees.
So
my kids, they went to Applebees for the first time not long ago with their grandparents, and they have pretzels they liked, and they loved it because it's shit food. Yeah. Kids love shit food.
It's frozen food that's heated up in a deep fryer.
Yeah, pretty much. So we went to the one in Webster, and I was cringing the whole way. We get there. Half full restaurant.
Yeah.
Wait 10 minutes for the host to come up front to get us a set. So I'm like, okay. I'm not expecting much. It is Applebee's.
Yes.
Get sat. Server takes 5 minutes to get to us. Not bad. We weren't ready to order our drinks, so she leaves. Takes her another 10 minutes to come back. Give her our drink order. She's doing I don't have to write anything down. I'll just remember everything. Okay. So she goes away. She's coming back with drinks for another table. She has the thing where she has the drinks pressed. She's holding them in her arms, has them pressed against her chest. And I'm watching as she's walking as the liquid is spilling onto her shirt. And I'm just sitting there like... She drops the drinks off at the table, takes our order, forgets one of the things we say, so she has to come back and ask us because I knew she would. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing, folks, with serving. And I've served for a very long time. I would consider myself an expert.
You're an expert.
The reason you write down your orders is not because you don't have the memory to remember them. It's because when you're done writing them down, you're supposed to check on your other tables and see if there's anything on your way back to ringing in the order that you can do for those tables. And this way, you're not expected to remember the order while you're also having these interactions with folks. No. She wanted to remember everything. So I would watch her walk by tables. And there was this one table particularly, these two like 65, 70-year-old people sitting just to the left of me. So she goes, puts in the order. We don't have our drinks yet. We get our appetizers.
You get your appetizer before
Get our appetizers
drinks?
before we get drinks. Then we get our drinks. She gives my wife a straw. She doesn't give me a straw for my water. And they're like, I fucking fine. I have a mixed drink. Awful watered down mixed drink. Terrible mixed drink. So the kids are all drinking their drinks. Wife's drinking. We get our appetizers. It's microwave shit, just like you said. Completely terrible. I expect that. Mm-hmm. The food is as expected.
This is Applebee's.
Applebee's. We never see her because she's like doing a couple orders, not moving fast. I'm sorry. You got to put a little. She had, I think, at that point, 5 tables. No, 4 tables. 4 tables, us and 3 other tables. It's not a ton of tables, but it's enough that, keep you moving. These 2 poor older people finished eating, sat there. And I'm watching this because I watch shit like this now. She walks by. She's getting drinks and stuff for tables, walks by. Brings them. She goes, oh, you ready for? Yeah, we're ready for our check. Walks away from the table without taking their plates, which they were both obviously done. So they're sitting there with their dirty plates. She drops the check off, walks away again.
Without the plates?
Without the plates. And then is gone. Forever. And I could tell the guy was about to fucking explode. And I don't blame him. So they didn't on their table, but we had one of those little, you could pay at the table computers that has like the games and stuff.
Yeah.
So I paid for ours. Now, mind you, they got their check 15 minutes before I paid for ours. Mm-hmm. We paid. Audrey and Gemma went to the bathroom. Ethan and I left. She had still not come back yet to take their check.
Bum, bum, bum. And
I gave... this is as bad a tip as I'll ever give somebody. I typically give between 25 and 30%. Gave her a 15% tip. Mm. The worst tip. And so when I want people to understand, that's the same as me stiffing her.
Yeah.
Giving her a 50% tip. And I wrote a Yelp review. I usually don't do that. I have 2 Yelp reviews in the history. One is a positive one. And then this is my only negative Yelp review. It was the worst service I've ever seen in my life. And after I finished eating, I realized why it is the worst restaurant on planet Earth. Because not only is the service bad, the drinks are crap. There was so much salt in my food.
Yeah.
That I was sick. Not throwing up sick, just not feeling good.
Yeah.
For a good 14 to 16 hours after we ate.
Yeah, I remember getting like mashed potatoes and stuff at Applebee's and just being like, this is really salty.
I got their chicken tenders and fries, and there was so much salt in them.
Yeah.
That it was unfathomable. So to me, I can honestly say, and I've eaten at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of restaurants, every kind of corporate one you can name. This, to me, is the worst restaurant. Mm-hmm. I would rather eat anywhere else, including Arby's, which is disgusting to me.
Yeah, it is.
But I would rather eat anywhere else than Applebee's.
How do you know Arby's is bad? Most people would rather go to Taco Bell than Arby's.
Yeah.
That's
Well, and I just watched it. I'd never seen, there was an SNL skit about the We Have the Meats, and they talk about 5 sandwiches for $10.
Yeah.
And then they go to the people and they're like, how can you do that?
Yeah. Well, my favorite is like, this wasn't a joke or a bit. They used to sell 5 sandwiches for $5.
Yeah.
It was their way to counter the $5 footlong. These aren't sliders.
Yeah.
These are full-size sandwiches. Who eats 5 roast beef sandwiches in one sitting?
I'm sorry. That does not taste like roast beef.
No, because it's not.
It's not roast beef.
It's not.
I don't want to know what part of the animal, what animal in general that came from.
No.
That's not roast beef. But anyways, that's the only thing I wanted to touch on is if you like Applebee's, good for you. If you are thinking about going to Applebee's and you haven't been in a while, fucking don't. Go find a local restaurant that is run by people from your area and are owned by people from your area. Go to that restaurant.
We love Adelita's in the mall.
Adelita's is great.
Adelita's is so good. It's so good. It's great.
Go to McCardle's. Have you ever been to McCardle's?
I've not been to McCardle's.
In Perrington, right near the bowling alley, right on the canal, is a restaurant called McCardle's.
Oh,
it's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Great food.
What was another one that Soccer Garden. which is like a
Oh yeah, I love the Court Garden. Oh, absolutely.
They're great. Yeah.
The place is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. There's a nice place in the Village right near the library that has like pool tables and stuff. It's a nice little slot.
Wait, what, Fairport?
In Fairport.
Is it the one down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new place.
Yeah. It's really good.
Mom and Pop?
It's good. Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Do it.
This is what I'm
Just
saying.
fucking stick
You can
to it,
always
man.
find something better, and you won't have to wonder how Applebee's bought the tchotchkes that they put on the wall.
My only kryptonite, I am anti-corporate restaurant for everything. Only kryptonite is Starbucks. And here's the thing. I don't even like Starbucks coffee. It's their like cold brew I really like.
Yeah.
And it's their lattes. And they opened a new one in Fairport. It's one of the nicest fucking coffee shops I've ever been in my entire life. We were at the farmer's market last weekend, and it's right next to the farmer's market. So I walked in to get a coffee, and I was like, this is fucking nice.
Yeah.
So that's my only, as much as I hate corporate restaurants and stuff, I do go to Starbucks, and I feel bad.
Mine is Timmy's. Timmy
H's, yeah.
I love Tim Ho's.
Tim Ho's is
I know
great.
that Tim Ho's has a reputation these days, and that some people don't care for it. But
Dude, their farmer wraps are awesome.
Oh my god, all of it's good.
Yeah.
The only bummer was they used to have, when you ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, they would have it be 2 eggs.
Yeah.
And now it's just 1. And it is a real bummer. It's a real bummer because it means like half the sandwich is nothing. It's just whatever bacon.
And I must say with Tim Hortons, I go to the one in Penfield, consistently the nicest people at the drive-thru.
Yes, they were swamped because they had a machine down.
Oh no.
And so they were just absolutely swamped yesterday when we went, and they were just so nice and trying to be as punctual as possible about everything. And so credit to the Rochester Tim Hortons.
Way to go, Timmy Ho.
Yeah, I love them. I love them. They're good stuff.
So what do you got going on, fool?
All right, so I got a few tap outs that I want to tap in.
Okay.
First and foremost, I want to talk about that we rewatched Roadhouse, the Jake Gyllenhaal Roadhouse, which we covered on this show. I really like that movie.
It's a good movie.
Having watched both it and the original Roadhouse, I don't have the nostalgia for the original Roadhouse, so I tend to like this one much more. It does have those weird Doug Liman cuts in it where you're just like, why this shot?
Yeah.
Why this shot? But God help me, I really like that movie.
I wish they would have just given it a different name.
Yeah.
Because it's, even if you don't like it as much as the original Roadhouse, it's still it's taking the name of
it
something
definitely
that
is. Yeah.
that is like it really doesn't have much in common with that movie.
No, and I think that's kind of why I like it.
Yeah.
Is that this is like they take the concept only and nothing else. Like they cut Sam Elliott's character out. He's not in this. There's no buddy that comes in at the last second and then gets killed. They still have him training bouncers, but there's not like this whole thing about it.
And there's no love interest really.
No, Daniela Melchior
it's
is
brief, though.
yeah.
It's not like the Kelly McGillis.
No, there's no like
or Kelly Lynch. I mean,
I'll say this: there's no
sex against the wall.
Well, there's not or sex in a swamp, which I still say. The worst idea I've ever seen is the end of that movie where they are fucking in a swamp, and I'm like, don't do that.
You get leeches in places you don't
want. The absolute worst idea. You think you've had bad UTIs before? Nuh-uh. This is going to be the UTI that might just kill you.
Did you hear about the Bill Murray story with that?
Did he fuck in a swamp?
No. So the guy that directed Roadhouse also is married to Kelly Lynch.
Uh-huh.
And anytime one of the Murray brothers watches that movie, they will call him and say, hey, I'm watching a dude plow your wife. And so this director will just get calls. He said he'll get called like 2 a.m. from Bill Murray saying, hey, Patrick Swayze's plowing your wife right now. And then just hang up the phone.
It's amazing.
And I'm like, that is the great, and it's all the Murray brothers.
Yeah.
They all do it. I'm like, that's the greatest fucking thing ever.
Quick, this isn't even a tangent. This is just a note. After watching The Phoenician Scheme, I really want Bill Murray to play God in something.
Yeah.
Like, fuck Morgan Freeman, fuck Brian Cox, all these other guys that have played God in voice or in one capacity or another. I want Bill Murray to play God,
But I want him to be like when he thought he was a god in Groundhog Day and he was just eating and smoking and doing whatever.
I want him to be like an over it God.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
He's just over the whole thing, and he's like, I've been watching this show for 2,000 years, and I just kind of feel like we jumped the shark in the 1400s, and it hasn't been good since, but I don't have the wherewithal anymore to just kill everybody. I'm not a young god anymore. I can't just kill everybody like I used to. So I just watch.
That could be fun.
Yeah. But anyway, I did like this. I'll say this about the romance. The romance with Danielle Melchior is not earned in any way.
No.
She literally goes up to him and he's like, we're not on a date. And she's like, this is definitely a date. And then they start making out. And it's like, I don't know why she even likes him.
It doesn't really go anywhere.
I don't understand. Well, she becomes like this this object for him to save at one point, and then she saves herself. Yeah. So it's definitely not a perfect movie, but I can't help but really enjoy it. There's something about Jake Gyllenhaal's character.
He's charming in this movie.
He's really good.
And I fucking love that lunatic Irish bastard.
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
He's so awesome.
I don't know why he walks that way, but I don't know if it's like some kind of rare scoliosis that makes him walk that way.
I don't know, but he's fucking, when he walks in and he's like, I'm putting my shit here and I'm sleeping there. And it's like, that's fucking awesome.
Well, I'll never stop loving the moment where the guys are trying to rough up Jake Gyllenhaal and he's like, how far is the nearest hospital? And Jessica Williams is like, eat shit. And he's like, okay, so how far is the nearest hospital? It's like, oh, it's like 5 miles away. It's fine. Can I borrow your car? Eat shit. And it's like, okay, slap. I just slapped you. Are you okay? Are you all right with that? Slap. Yeah.
So that scene was
It's a great scene.
And I love that little guy that keeps giving him like positive.
Yes. I just want to ride bikes, and that's really hard in Florida. So I don't think I'm even part of this crowd. I'm going to leave.
He's the only one that survives at the end.
Yeah, because he leaves. He says, I'm not about this.
I'm on your side, dude.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And the speech Dalton has when he kills the first guy, who's been just like a thorn in his side the whole movie, and he kills him by breaking his trachea and tossing him in a pool. And he's like, I just wanted to leave, and I wanted to have a nice quiet life, and I didn't want to have to do anything, and I didn't want to get mad, because when I get mad, I stop being mad, and you made me really mad.
Yeah.
And it's like,
this fucking awesome.
This is a great Western that has nothing to do with cowboys or anything. The only problem is that they call it out for being a Western. They're like, hey! You get that it's a Western? And it's like, yeah, I got that it's a Western. Hey! It's a Western. Yeah, I know. I get it. So, not perfect, but I God help me, I love that movie. I'm the same as
you. I consider it a really solid B.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really, it's just good. It's not great.
It goes into that camp of the dollar theater second run movie.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't have to rush out and see it, but if you want to see something that's fun and charming and enjoyable and has really attractive men, you can do a lot worse. You can do a lot worse. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was that I rewatched Knives Out and Glass Onion because a little peek behind the curtain. We got some bad information from the internet, and we went and Googled online the new one, Wake Up Dead Man. And it said that it premiered on September 6th. And so that was going to be our episode. And so me and Kelly watched Knives Out and Glass Onion, and we were all ready. And then Steve had a day off.
It's December 12th.
And he was like, dude, this is not out yet. So I don't know why the internet told me the 6th. I'm going to presume it premiered at some cinema festival somewhere, but it's not actually available until the end of the year.
I think the trailer, too, came out on the 6th.
Yeah, so Google, like the enshittification of everything on the internet, cannot always be trusted. You still have to scroll down like six times to find the information that you're looking for. All of which is to say, I rewatched Knives Out and Glass Onion, and while I had always loved Glass Onion because it's just such a perfect treat of a story, it's like this excellent, like Benoit talks about, this perfect bite.
Yeah.
It's like this perfect bite where you get all this flavor and texture and, wonder, and then it's over. And you're like, that was perfect. That was everything I could ever want. I remember when I watched Knives Out, I was so mad at it because I wanted it to be so different than what it ended up being.
Yeah.
And what it became, and what we noted in our most recent watch through, was that they give away the story too early. When they, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Knives Out, even though it's been out for almost 10 years now, which is also terrifying and I hate.
That's crazy.
I've been thinking, I caught myself thinking that it is finally 2023 because the last few years have all just kind of condensed into the period between the pandemic and 2023. And I'm like, okay, it's 2023. It's like, no, it's 2025. All right. When you think about that music video that you watched in college, that didn't come out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That came out 15 years ago. Anyway, I've always disagreed where they show you that Ana de Armas, Marta, her character, is the one that actually kills Christopher Plummer. And so that reveal comes, I want to say about 40 minutes into the movie. And it was a reveal that I was just like, but you ruined it. You ruined all of this suspense and this hanging sense of doom over everything. You have all these knives, all these things that are happening. Lakeith Stanfield is so fucking good. The fact that he tells Benoit Blanc straight up, your theories are weak sauce. That's fucking great. I don't know if someone wrote that or if Lakeith Stanfield just did it on his own. I don't fucking care. He's so good in this movie. The scene where they're interviewing all of the relatives at the beginning, and Blanc will just ping on the piano every once in a while, and then you get kind of this cross-cutting. It's a really good movie, and then they reveal the end of the story. And I was so mad. And so watching it again this time, I couldn't get over it when I first watched it. I could not get past that anger, that sense of betrayal of like, well, now you've ruined it for me. I was having fun, and then you ruined it. And now I just kind of have to slop along throughout this movie while I know the ending. Of course, the ending is flipped on its head. Yeah. Which is the moment you're like, no, I have to watch the whole thing again. Oh, that's what happened with Tenet for me. I got to the end of Tenet. I was like, now I have to watch it again?
You gotta watch that 7 times.
No! Yeah. But watching Knives Out again, I think that my problem is the same, but it's lessened. What really needs to happen is they need to have that scene where Marta's history is revealed just like 20 minutes later in the movie. Yeah. When she is riding with Chris Evans after being given all of everything by Christopher Plummer, and she's escaping the family. That's when you have that intercut. Because then you're like, oh my God, she's in so much trouble. Oh my God, if they find out, oh my God. And so then there's this extra level of suspense. I just don't like having that reveal so early on in the story. But God help me, rewatching that, I see why everybody was all up in arms and why they're making a third one, because it's really good.
I love that this was the change Daniel Craig needed in his career from James Bond to this.
Yeah.
And he, especially in Glass Onion.
Oh my God.
He is so awesome in that
There
movie.
is never a moment where any time I can use... Oh, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's brilliant. No! It's just dumb!
Yeah.
My fucking favorite. I love that moment.
It's
so good. So watching those movies again, it was just like an absolute joy.
Yeah,
just so
and as
fun.
much as I hate Ryan Johnson because of The Last Jedi, I am looking forward to this stuff.
See, the thing is, like, Ryan Johnson, I didn't have anything... I was actually excited when he got Last Jedi because I love Brick. You remember my time when I fucking wouldn't stop talking about Brick. When I had my very aggressive man crush on Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 2010.
500 Days of Summer, you want to show
Oh my God, for real. To say nothing of how toxic that movie is now.
Yeah.
In retrospect. I love that Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't like talking about that movie because he recognizes how toxic the behavior in that movie is. Yeah. And it's like, good for you, dude. I appreciate it. And I still remember Chloe Grace Moretz coming in after riding her bike across town, and he's just smashing plates. And she's like, oh, it's so much worse than I thought.
That's great.
So good. Anyway, I like Ryan Johnson, and Ryan Johnson is a really talented writer and director. It was just that he never should have done a Star Wars.
No.
He never should have done a Star Wars, and he definitely shouldn't have done this Star Wars. Because his fault was the same fault that so many have had. I know better than anyone. I know the audience better than anyone. I know what they need. Whether they want it or not is
the James Gunn of it all.
Is unimportant. They need this. They need to have Luke be like, I don't need my lightsaber, but I do need green milk. They need Kylo Ren to kill... what's his nuts? Snoke. Who was supposed to be this big thing. You remember the summer of Snoke when everybody was like theorizing what Snoke was going to be at the end of the year? And then he dies. And then he fucking dies. So you just need to not have Ryan Johnson make this movie. Have him make any other movie. Have him make a movie that takes place on that stupid casino planet. That just stars...
No, let's forget about that casino planet.
That just stars fucking Benicio del Toro as a con man on this casino planet. Fine. That could be fun. Yeah. Just not... this. Don't touch all the other stuff. Just, you can go and play with this one. It's like a 2-year-old in a room full of baubles. You can play with this one thing. Don't touch anything else.
These are tours when they get these big budget movies. It's like,
don't do it, man. I think you just got to not do it unless you really love the material. Like, really, really?
But even that.
Yeah.
Even if you love the material, it's still, like, I don't want to see Wes Anderson make a Star Trek movie.
No, it's true.
You know what I mean? It's like, he's great and I love him, but don't make a fucking
It depends on
movie
how
like
the flavors go. Because, like, you look at... Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright, when he makes certain movies that are, like, especially genre heavy, they're really good. because that's his
always
wheelhouse.
been kind of his, that's
what I'm saying is that under like if Edgar Wright wanted to make a Star Trek and he had Simon Pegg on board to write it, that would be really interesting to me.
Yeah.
But I agree. Wes Anderson, I don't know if he's a Star Trek fan, but let's assume that he is. I don't necessarily need to see his Star Trek because those flavors don't go together.
Not at all.
You know, so you're getting mayo in my chocolate.
Stay in your lane, fool.
Yeah, so it depends, right? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I do believe genuinely that having a real respect for the piece is super important. But even then, you still have to look at things like James Gunn saying, I know Superman better than anybody. And so I know that this should happen in this Superman movie. It's like, no, man, you're wrong.
See, I think it's easier for somebody used to the big budget, like a Spielberg, to go from a Jurassic Park to a Schindler's List than it is the opposite.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the problem. It's like, if you're used to making these low-budget arty movies, don't go for it. It rarely works out going to the big budget.
Yeah. So. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Wake Up Dead Man whenever it comes out.
Yeah, whenever. December. Yeah.
All right. So the other thing that I've been watching a fuck ton of is NFL football. Just a fucking ton of NFL football.
Dude.
Since we last talked to you, the sky has fallen, I think, no less than 3 times. And been kind of tacked up back into place, and then it fell again. And you're like, well, this is how the season's going to go.
Everything is kind of going the way I thought it would. Except for the Bears. Which, you know what?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. As much as I gave them a really good record, that big part of me that has been a fan for 40 years knew what was going to happen is what's happening. And just complete getting blown out last game.
It's always, will the Bears escape the cage? Not like there's been this turn of like the Bears are going to be so good, and it's like no, we still have to have the Bears escape the cage.
Yeah.
Once the Bears get out of the cage, then they can be good. It's like the Chargers in that first game against the Chiefs. I was like, they're going to blow this. And then they didn't. I was like, you didn't blow it? That's incredible. I can't believe you didn't blow it.
Yeah.
And then they blew out the Raiders the next week. And you're like, wow, damn. The Chargers might be a thing. I don't know if they are, but they might be.
Yeah.
People have to stop being shocked that Justin Herbert is a good quarterback.
Well, and they got to stop being shocked that Jim Harbaugh is a good coach.
Yeah.
The guy, look what he did in San Francisco. Look what he did in Michigan. I mean, the guy is... That's another reason why the Bears deserve to be in where they are. They had an opportunity to get him, and they decided to keep Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, keeping Eberflus may be one of the worst decisions.
That's absolutely the worst decision
of all time.
If they would have got Harbaugh and then drafted Caleb or even any of Jaden Daniels, any of the other quarterbacks, and had Harbaugh and said, you have free reign to do what you want with this team, I guarantee the Bears would be a playoff team this year. But right now they're getting a first-time head coach who's realizing that, shit, maybe being the head of everything is not as easy as it looks.
Well, it's like, so I was watching the Bills game. And we'll get to the Bills because they've had a tumultuous few weeks here. But they were talking about Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, and Kirk Herbstreit being the genius that he is at pro football. Wait, no, he's covered college football his entire life until the last 2 years.
Never actually played in pros, I don't think.
He's like Brady Quinn. I'm going to take your advice on something. He, and the most recent game against the Dolphins, was talking about Joe Brady and how Joe Brady deserves to be an offensive or a head coach. Yeah. And I was like, you are out of your fucking mind. No, he doesn't. He wouldn't know what to do with himself if he was head coach.
No.
He wouldn't know how to run the team if he was head coach. He barely knows how to put on his pants. You know how I know this? Because Josh Allen is the guy that runs the quarterback, the entire fucking offense.
I do give him credit for one thing, though. He understood the whole thing that none of the other offensive coordinators did, where you need to run.
You need to run the fucking ball.
And they have, I said it to you, I still think James Cook all around is the best running back in football. Because watching him in that game, their offense, like, you can say what you want about Saquon. I love Saquon Barkley. They have the best offensive line, quite possibly in the history of the NFL.
He hasn't been great this
Buffalo.
Season. Yeah.
And Cook is awesome.
When Cook makes that that leverage, he's great.
He's so great. And now he's I think he's got 3 touchdowns on the season. Or 4 touchdowns, something like that.
Something like that. Because
I think he scored in every game.
He got to do some vulturing in the game versus the Jets, where everybody was like, Josh didn't even have any points. And it's like, yeah, but he still had some plays. And then James Cook got to take in 2 touchdowns from the field.
4 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah. Going back to Eberflus, that may be the most cataclysmic decision of all time. Have you heard the whole thing with tape?
No, yeah.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know, Eberflus did not watch tape. Nobody on the coaching staff watched tape.
And none of them taught
Caleb how to watch tape. So he had to watch tape on his own and teach himself how to watch it. And I'm like, you fucking suck. You are a terrible coach. If you don't know how to watch tape or how to have your quarterback have someone watch tape with him, you're terrible. I recently heard someone, I'm going to attribute it to Dan Orlovsky because I don't like him, and I think he's an idiot. But I heard someone recently argue that Thanksgiving Day fiasco last year was on Caleb Williams. I'm like, no, it fucking wasn't.
Not even a
little bit. I don't care how poorly he's played this season. You cannot attribute anything that happened last year to him. Not at all. You know who's in charge of that? The fucking head coach. Yeah. So, no, that was 100% on Eberflus.
So he played 17 games last year, and then what? This is the third game. He's played 19 games. In 19 games, he's had 3 head coaches.
Yeah.
And 3 offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
In 19 games of his career. And you're going to blame him for fucking anything?
For anything? Are you crazy?
And that's another thing. All the people that are getting on his case right now for not, like, being better. And it's like, dude, give the fucking guy a chance.
He needs time. Yeah. He needs time. Everybody was like, oh, he's Bryce Young, too. He's wasted.
No,
he's washed.
Not even remotely
Get
close.
out of here with that. Come on. What are we talking about? It's been so short a time, and you're already ready to write him off. Similarly, I heard someone talking about how if the Niners do well right now, the Niners quarterback Brock Purdy is out with injury for a few weeks, and covering him is Mac Jones, which is kind of funny because the Niners wanted to draft Mac Jones in the first place and then didn't, and now they have him anyway. All of which is to say, someone suggested that if the Niners win most of the next 5 games while Brock Purdy is out, they should make Mac Jones the starter. Are you out of your fucking mind? What the you're just trying to get a reaction. You can't possibly be serious because that is insane.
And if I was Mac Jones, I would say to San Francisco, I will sign on to be your backup for the remainder of my career.
Yeah.
You already went through the tumultuous stuff with trying to be a starter and it failing.
It's not going to happen.
Now, mind you, I don't put him failing as a starter on him. It was Belichick's dark days.
It was the worst year of Belichick's season.
It was the worst time for him to be a starter. Just fucking, dude, be happy where you are. Purdy, I think this is the second time in his career so far that he's been hurt. He probably will get hurt again. So you will have the opportunity to play. Fucking enjoy this.
Yeah.
You are in a great spot right now.
Look at Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
There's still a chance you can make a comeback, but like we joked at the beginning of the season, the best job in the world might be backup quarterback.
Yeah. Tyson Bagent with the Bears. I said, I love the guy so much and he's awesome. And he was so happy to just sign a quarterback, a backup contract. He's like, dude, give that to me. I'm totally good with
You're still making over $10 million.
Yeah.
You're not making like Brock Purdy when he was drafted Mr. Irrelevant last overall. He was like on a $700,000, which like for us is still like, give me I'll sign up for $700,000.
Yeah.
But for NFL, that's like nothing. That's like literally hay pennies. Like we're talking about less than a penny on the dollar at this point. And the idea of being paid millions of dollars to just sit on the bench and be ready in case.
Yeah.
I would fucking
and
do
have
that.
No expectations.
And then you have like a Mitchell Trubisky like, oh, Josh broke his nose. I got to go in and throw 3 passes. And then Josh is going to come back
And that's why I give Trubisky credit, because he saw that when he went to Pitt, and he's like, you know what? I had it good in Buffalo. Please take me back.
Yeah.
And they took him back, and I guarantee he will never leave that team.
No, and why would he want to? He doesn't need to be a starter. No. If he ever becomes a starter, the question is just going to be, is Trubisky better than he was last time?
Yeah.
That's all that will follow him around forever.
Yeah.
For the rest of his
just
career.
Ride Josh's coattails.
Yeah.
Be his Alex
Cliff Van Pelt.
Booth.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like in his stuntman. You're his stuntman.
Yeah.
You drive him places.
Yeah.
Take care of his car for him. But
babysit his kids, make him waffles in the morning.
Kiss his wife.
No, that's Patrick Swayze does that.
No, that's true.
Or Michael B. Jordan, who like.
Yeah, we don't.
We're not going to touch that one.
Movie of the year.
Anyway, I do want to talk quickly about the Bills while we're on them.
Yes.
The Bills have had a crazy beginning to the season. We are currently 3-0. We are currently seen as kind of the class of the NFL, which I think is a little bit of a pantomime horse, but mostly because I don't want to jinx us by buying the hype. I don't want to walk around thumping my chest and then have everything fall apart. But the reason for this is because we went toe-to-toe with Baltimore. We almost lost that game. It was very, very close. A lot of fans left the stadium, which Josh did not care for. My buddy didn't, so that's cool. My buddy was there for the whole thing. And then by the end, he was like, we can't leave if we wanted to. People are going crazy.
Oh, I believe it.
Because there was a 15-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Josh had the amount of effectiveness that you would have in an entire game in the fourth quarter alone.
Unbelievable.
And going back to our running back leaderboard, Derrick Henry, who was running all over us. Like, this was the thing, was that the Bills defense had no answer for anything all night. If you can't stop Henry, you go to Zay Flowers. If you can't stop Zay Flowers, they go back to Henry. And then you have Lamar Jackson playing fucking Madden and just running around. And oh, by the way, here's DeAndre Hopkins with glue on his glove. How the fuck do you defend that? There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. They had good double coverage on him. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just it. That's how it's going to go. And so Josh made this incredible comeback. We're going to see if this is the year where he goes from tall boy to tall man.
I think last year was that year, to be honest.
I
do.
I want to.
By cutting his turnovers down to almost nothing and being more patient.
I just, like, to me, he can't be tall man until he gets to the Super Bowl. Until he gets over the mountaintop.
Yeah, but like I look at, I don't put that against him because they, like, let's go back to the 13-second game against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He had them going to the Super Bowl. It was the defense that fucked it up.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with
it was McDermottitis.
Exactly.
We got a bad case of McDermottitis at the worst possible moment, which keeps happening this season too.
Well, I think the thing with the Bills with me this season, I'm tired of this excuse, and I appreciate somebody brought this up with the Chiefs and offense, how people are always like, oh, well, they have so many injuries until they get this person back. And it's like, that's been the excuse for like 3 years now. That's been the excuse of Buffalo's defense for like 3 years.
Yeah.
They need to figure out getting in. Like, I love Matt Milano, and I made that joke, and I feel bad that first.
He already hurt his leg.
He's already out.
Yeah, or his back or something.
They need to figure out a way. I don't know about maybe doing like what Green Bay did and bringing in just a really young defense with.
I would have given the. I don't know what Jerry wanted. I would have done 2 firsts and Daquan Jones.
Fuck yeah.
I would have done 2 firsts and Daquan Jones.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
Because Bosa's been great so far.
I'm not giving you Ed Oliver. You can't have Ed Oliver.
Can't have Ed Oliver. Can't have Bosa.
Can't have Bosa. Can't have Terrell Bernard.
No.
You can't have any of these guys. I will give you Daquan Jones and 3 first-rounders.
Yep.
That's more than enough. What do you want? Apparently Kenny Walker, whatever his name is. The Bills this year, the thing that freaks me out is that the last few years, our defense has been what has made us a great team. And then Josh kind of comes in and plays mop-up with the offense. And this year, the defense is extremely suspect.
Especially against the run.
Yeah.
They're terrible against the run.
And part of that is because Ed Oliver's been out for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that hasn't helped anything. But because he was the reason we won that game against Baltimore.
Yeah.
He, just as much as Josh came up over the top and said, we're going to win this game, was Ed Oliver getting us back in that game.
Yeah.
He was also the only guy that could tackle Lamar at various points in time, or Derrick Henry. So it's like, we need Ed Oliver, and we need him in the middle. I fucking love Terrell Bernard. That man is a bad, bad man.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he hits hard. Oh boy, that guy hits hard.
He does.
And I love Terrell Bernard. He's the reason I'm not so worried about not having Matt Milano, because the Bills have known for a while that Matt Milano was not going to be a long-term solution.
Yes.
And so I think it was when he injured himself in England a few years ago when he broke his leg. I think that was the moment the Bills were like, we are going to need a different guy because we love him and we want him to be here and we're going to keep paying him. We're not going to cut him or anything, but he is not going to be a long-term solution.
I think he needs to go. I like Matt Milano too, but it's just, dude.
See, it's like him and to a greater extent, Hamlin. I don't want them to go. I want them to stay on the team, even if it's just for moral reasons. They've earned their spot
here.
here.
But I mean, his name is thrown out there enough. I don't think Hamlin's going to expect a big payday. Milano, I think, will when the next contract comes around.
I mean, he already got one big payday. We'll see if he keeps it.
They better not give him another one.
Yeah. No, I think moving forward after this season.
Yeah.
But I would want him on the team at least through the end of the season.
Through the season, yeah. I'm talking about after the season.
I don't know. It's funny too because the Bills have kind of done this thing where their cost saving measures are okay, go find someone to give you that contract, and then everybody comes back a year later. So it's like Hoyer and Hyde and Trey White
and Trubisky
and fucking Gabe Davis.
Yep.
These guys all left to get paid. And then they had one shitty season somewhere else, and they were like, we'll come back for a pay cut and be on the team. So I really want this to be the years for the Bills because I can't take it anymore, frankly.
Well, it looks like they're easily going to win their division.
Yeah, that I'm not as worried about.
The big positive, the biggest game is going to be the Kansas City game.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they already have the game up on Baltimore. If they can get that game on Kansas City, which right now there's no reason why they should not mop the floor with them.
And Joe Burrow is injured. He might be out for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
So we don't have to worry about Cincinnati.
So if they can get those games up, and they have the easier schedule out of all of them.
The fact that we're playing the South and I think we play the South and the West this year. So the West will be tricky, but the South is like... That's going to be, we can get through the South pretty easily. The Saints aren't going to be a problem. The Falcons aren't going to be, knock on wood.
Well, I looked at their schedule. I don't really see a loss. And that's not me being like, I'm not a homer with Buffalo, but you look at their schedule and you're like, they can win every one of these games.
See, they can win every one of these games, but like against the Dolphins, where everybody and their cousin was saying, this is going to be a blowout. This is going to be 50%.
See, I never thought it was going to be a blowout.
I didn't either, because I was like, we're going to blow this. I came into that game. You could ask Kelly. I came into that game, and I was like, everybody thinks we're going to win this game. This is a trap. This is how we fall face first.
I don't even think Buffalo thought it was a trap, because you look at, like, I know it was different this year, but in the past years, every time Baltimore played Cleveland, even though Baltimore's far better than them, they are their deepest rivals, and Cleveland would either win or play them. Same thing with Miami and Buffalo.
Yeah,
it's like they
I'm
always
wearing a
play
Squish
each
the
other.
Fish t-shirt. Yeah.
Miami knows better. They knew they were backs were against the wall and their coach was on the hot seat, and they came in, and I got to give them credit. They showed a lot of pride in that game.
Yeah.
And they knew where to hit Buffalo defensively. They ran the ball really fucking well.
They ran the ball really, really well, and they realized what I am terrified anybody else will realize, which is that our corners are great at zone, but man is a little tough.
It's a little tough.
They're the knees, the quick turns, they're a little tough on guys like Trey White. I love Trey. But some of those moments where he was chasing Waddle, I was like, you look ancient.
Yeah.
You look so slow compared to him. And this was the thing that really pissed me off, was that there were just so many third down and long. 5+. And the Bills always let the Dolphins off the mat every single time. And that's the thing that makes me really worried, is just the sense of kind of laissez-faire, we're not so worried about this. And if that happens in the wrong game, it's going to go really, really badly. Or if Josh goes down, we're cooked. We got nothing. If Josh gets like an actual injury, I think, I don't know that anybody's cheering for it, but I think some of the coverage people, some of the news media would like the drama of Allen going down, because when he broke his nose versus the Jets, Tony Romo thought he was going to die.
Yeah.
Tony Romo was like, I've never seen this much blood before. Oh my God, something's terribly wrong. You know Allen's a tough guy. He wouldn't come out for nothing. And he comes back in 3 plays later because he broke his nose.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Every football player broke their nose. Every football player in the 50s and 60s, their nose are going in different directions.
Yes. It used to be, when I was growing up, it wasn't just the eye black. You also had to have something over your nose to show that it had been broken.
Yeah.
Because that was playing football. When I was growing up, I thought that it was like an inefficiency in the helmet design, because everybody broke their nose. I thought it was like the helmet would come down and slam into their nose and they'd break their nose because everybody broke their nose playing football. Yeah. So it's just...
It's like knocking out teeth at hocky. Oh my God, I can't believe he lost a tooth.
Oh my God, he's going to die. He's going to die. Oh, his dentist isn't here. He's going to die.
I got to say, there are 2 joys so far in the NFL season for me. One of them, my man... Still love him to death, Baker Mayfield.
He's having a great year.
Dude, Tampa itself.
I'm kind of scared of Tampa, because you want to talk about having an easy year. Tampa has no one to deal with.
And they have a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
And they're beating good teams.
Really good teams.
Really good teams.
Yeah.
I love Bake Show. And then just to look at tonight's game and to see the 0-2 Chiefs versus the 0-2 Giants, that makes me...
I want the Giants to win this
game. And I'm so
bad.
Fucking tired of everyone still saying, oh, well, Mahomes is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. It's like, no, he fucking isn't.
We got to talk about... Oh, go ahead.
Finally, Colin Cowherd.
Yeah.
Finally, a commentator said this year, and I never thought I would hear anyone say it.
Especially not him.
Mahomes came into the most perfect situation any quarterback in history has ever come into, to a playoff caliber team with 2 Hall of Famers being Kelsey and Hill at their peak, with a Hall of Fame coach, with one of the best quarterbacks in the league at that time being Alex Smith.
To teach him
while he sit and watch.
With a well-built offensive line.
Yes. And it's like, dude.
Yeah.
Finally somebody said it instead of everyone like, oh my God.
And
you know what? He walked on water the other day. I saw it. He turned water into wine. I saw him do it.
And he had a carousel of really good running backs when he started.
Yes.
Like, I agree. No, the funniest thing to me with the Chiefs is that, and no one is talking about it, which is really pissing me off. I think it's because nobody wants to address the elephant in the room of last year. So one of the big things that happened last week and week 2 was that Philadelphia tried to do their tush pushes to win.
Yes.
And everybody got real upset in an officiating world because the Eagles were offsides. And I'm like, oh no! The Chiefs didn't have a call go in their favor! Oh my God!
Yeah.
What a horror show! Everybody! The Chiefs didn't get a call! Oh, Jesus! The indecency of it! Stop the presses! Everybody! Freak the fuck out! The Chiefs didn't get a call! Killed the tush push today! And it's like, you guys, A, it's fine. B, I don't want to hear shit from you guys talking about how it's an unofficiatable play. Where have you been for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
You spent the entire offseason talking about trying to come up with this argument of, oh, it creates injuries. It's an injury concern. You don't have any data to show that.
Yeah.
But now you're coming in, you're saying, this play is completely undefensible. You can't referee it at all. There's no way to check it. It's just too much. You're just like, dude, no.
Yeah.
Where was that? You've been trying to get rid of this play for so long, and now on 2 plays, the Eagles are offside, and you're like, oh my God, you can't officiate this play. It's impossible to officiate this play. If that were the case, where were you in March when they were looking for reasons to get rid of this play?
Yeah.
You're full of shit.
Yeah.
You're full of shit.
No, I love it. It brings me pure joy to see this.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I would love more than to see them lose to the Giants tonight, which is a possibility because they're in New York, and last week, New York almost beat Dallas by putting up 37 points last week? Because if they lose this week, they got Baltimore next week. Mm-hmm. Then Jacksonville, which is not an easy out this year. Then Buffalo.
Yeah.
So they could be 0-6.
Oh, God, I want it so bad.
That would be the greatest. I would be the happiest person alive.
I want them to lose to the Giants simply for the meltdown. I'm like a soft G Giants fan. I like the Giants because they killed the Patriots, but I can never cheer for them because they also beat us with wide right. So those two things cannot coexist. It's like 2 male beta fish. You can't have them in the same tank. Okay, so I can't be a real full-throated Giants fan, but I can hope that the Giants do well.
Yeah.
The idea that Russell Wilson, of all people, beating the Chiefs is so great to me. It's everything I could ever want. I would be so happy.
Yeah.
I would not ask for any Christmas presents from the NFL this year. It would be so great. I would be so happy.
And to me, the reason why I want this losing streak to go on is they keep a lot of commentators now, they still, luckily the majority of them still call Tom Brady the GOAT, which he is. He is the GOAT.
Unfortunately, but yes.
And there are those that are saying Mahomes, though, and it drives me nuts. And they're like, oh, well, Brady had a lull in his career. His lull was just not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They still won the division and went to the conference championship game every fucking year.
In our defense, the division was run like shit every year.
And
we were part of that. We were definitely part of that.
But, you look at they never went, 0-4, 0-5, 0-6.
No.
They never did that.
No, they never had slow starts.
Never would let them happen.
Unless Brady got injured. If Brady got injured, then there were
even that one year that he was hurt, they still went 11-5.
Yeah, and they still made the playoffs. They just
they didn't make playoffs.
Oh, they didn't.
They were out, but they went because that was when 11-5 you could still miss the playoffs.
Yeah,
but they were 11-5 in the year that Brady wasn't there.
Yeah, my favorite thing right now, I think the epitome of all of this is that cameras caught Travis Kelce, who before all this I liked Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
in a vacuum, I like Travis Kelce. It's only when we bring up the matter of football that I'm like,
yeah.
So, but some camera caught him on the bench being like, I can't take this shit during the last loss. And I'm like, oh, baby bear, You sound like Tyreek Hill last year complaining about not making the playoffs for the first time in his career.
Well, and I'm on board with you to where I don't like him because I don't like his team, but I do really like him.
I can't help but like him and
I like
Jason.
him and his brother. And
I can't help it.
I love the Taylor Swift stuff. Like, they look happy. They look like a great couple.
I have nothing against it. I wish the NFL would horn out of it. I understand that,
but that's not even their fault.
It's not their fault, and I don't blame them for that. But I can't help but be like, this is obnoxious. The fact that we've gotten to a point now where we're debating whether Taylor Swift went to the last game because there was this like big thing that was moving around and she may have been inside of it, but there were never any shots of her.
I don't think they showed her in any of the games, which I give her credit if she's like, you know what, I'm just going to stay away because it was too much about me.
Yeah. Well, it's like if, God bless them. I would appreciate it for like maybe 3 weeks. But if they started tracking every time Haley Steinfeld showed up at the game, I'd be like, okay, guys, all right, let's get back to what actually matters.
Yeah. But what I was going to say about him is I want him to retire just because I don't like to see this.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I don't like him, because, once again, I know he's a great tight end.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the greatest tight end ever because I would put him more as a wide receiver than a tight end.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really block for shit.
No.
But he used
to. He used to block.
But he doesn't really.
Not anymore.
No. So, like, I don't necessarily put him up there like the Gronk shit.
Yeah.
Gronk would actually fucking knock over offensive
Well, like,
linemen.
I was going to say, it's so funny when you talk about the best tight ends ever. Obviously you have to talk about Gronk, even though I don't want to. And if I don't have to, I won't. My mind always goes, like, I skip, you have your Tony Gonzalez, you have your Antonio Gates. We got to talk about them. But then my mind always goes to, like, Kellen Winslow and fucking Mike Ditka.
Yeah.
Like, those are the best tight ends. When my brain thinks of great tight ends, those are the tight ends my brain thinks of. I can't help it.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
The Eagles are good. The Ravens are good. The Browns are floundering. Joe Burrow is hurt, so the Bengals are kind of whatever they're going to be.
Well, and right now, we're recording this during the 1 o'clock game.
Yes.
The Vikings are destroying the Bengals.
Oh, no shit.
17-3.
Wow.
The Steelers are right up 14-7 over the Patriots.
I don't believe in the Steelers.
I don't either. Their defense is just dog shit right now.
It is so funny that Miami is complaining about the pieces that they traded to the Steelers.
Yeah.
When I don't think that they would help in Miami either.
Colts are beating the Titans, not a surprise. Jaguars are beating the Texans.
We should talk about the Colts being a surprise in general.
That is a surprise.
Because when we did our NFL preview show, we basically both said, it's going to be the Texans. I believe my phrasing was, it's the Texans and they got to stop sucking off our fumes.
Well, yeah. The Rams are laying it to the Eagles right now, 19-7.
Wow, they are. Yeah. Holy shit.
And then the other surprising one, well, not surprising because their defense is so great, but the Packers, right now against the Browns, are winning 3-0
at halftime. And the Browns don't have anything. Their cupboard is bare.
Yeah.
Their cupboard is Joe Flacco and a bunch of rookies.
Yeah.
Including Shador. Oh my God. Shador Sanders. Oh my God, give him a chance. He'll be the greatest thing ever that's ever happened.
I wish they would just give him a chance to shut everyone up and be like, there you go.
Yeah, we gave him a chance. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Moving on. No, the Colts being good, it is mind-blowing to me. It was so unexpected. And I keep on hearing people be like, oh, well, they have these great wide receivers. I'm like, who? Michael Pittman and who?
See, the thing that I forget when I was bringing up the Colts and saying that I thought they were going to be bad, I think they were 9-8 last year.
They were. I don't think they were 9-8. I don't think they were that good. Were they?
Let me look it up real quick.
Because they struggled. They were up and down all year last year. That was because they had that brief period where Joe Flacco won like 2 games, and everyone was like, "Yeah, Flacco-sans," and then it all fell apart because Joe Flacco is really good at hanging them up there and letting anybody.
So I was off by 1.
You were off by 1,
but 8-9 is not bad.
It's not bad,
and Daniel Jones, I will give the benefit of the doubt to any quarterback coming out of the stadium in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Any quarterback coming out of there, give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'm just surprised that he's as accurate and confident as he has been. Those are the two things.
I think he just doesn't have that weight of all the media shit on his back anymore.
Or being the 6th overall pick when he should have been like the 36th overall pick.
Which I think the fact that, no one can find success as a quarterback in New York.
Yeah.
Should be an extra chip on the shoulder of Eli Manning.
Yes.
To be like, dude, I understand I don't have some of the best seasons, but I was Super Bowl MVP twice. And I fucking played my entire career in New York City.
Yeah. I played on that turf the entire time.
Yeah. So.
And I don't think he ever tore his ACL. in that whole period.
No, he was pretty healthy.
Which is shocking, considering that field just eats ACLs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, no, I am impressed and surprised by a lot of elements of this season. We're going to see there's a lot of things that I just don't believe yet. And we're going to see how they shake out.
And today, 4 o'clock game, Dallas at Chicago. It's the battle of Eberflus versus old team. Because he's the defensive
Eberflus
coordinator.
revenge game.
So I'm hoping Chicago goes out and absolutely shellacks them. Just
They
because
need it.
They need it bad.
They need it so bad.
But mainly because I hated Eberflus. I have not liked a Chicago coach since Lovie Smith. And I lost love with him because he would never have emotion on the sideline. It was the same, just dead stare.
He had that blank face.
And so to me, I'm like, man, I think since Ditka was the last head coach, where I'm like, man, I fucking really like that guy.
Yeah, well, he was also the most successful last coach that you had.
Well, that's
just dust off the bones of Buddy Ryan. It'll be fine.
He was a terrible head coach. He was a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Well, so this is the thing, is that everybody who's blaming Ben Johnson, we're going to get off football in a second. Everybody who's blaming Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, I'm like, have you seen the Bears defense? This Dennis Allen defense that they're touting.
It's fucking horrible.
It sucks shit.
It's terrible.
There's your problem. The problem is not the engine of the car. The problem is the 4 flat tires you have on it.
Which I would fire Dennis Allen and bring a Ryan back to Chicago. I would bring Rex Ryan in as the... Because you can say what you want about him as a head coach. Defensive coordinator.
As a defensive coordinator,
awesome.
he was really good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, we'll finish with this. Going back to that idea of Joe Brady being a head coach. So many people are running around touting like, oh, this guy would be a great head coach. Let's put a pause on that.
Coordinators.
Because I'm looking at Kellen Moore, and I'm looking at Joe Brady, and I'm looking at, I love him, but Mike McDaniel, and I'm looking at Robert Saleh, and I'm looking at all these guys, and I'm like, I don't know. Dennis Allen, not a good head coach. Very bad head coach.
The best part about San Francisco this year is their defense.
Yeah.
Because they got Robert Saleh back, and he's like...
Even though they lost all their pieces, the defense is holding fine.
Because he's a really good defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And seeing as North Carolina just got their ass kicked, Belichick maybe wasn't a great head coach.
That is the fucking funniest thing.
I just love it.
They've gotten their ass kicked twice now, and we're 4 games in.
And I just know, I don't want to picture this, but I know this happens. Every Saturday night, Brady looks at ESPN.com to see what the score is and then just masturbates when he sees how bad they were winning.
Yeah.
Because he fucking hates...
Hey, at least Belichick has a hot girlfriend, I guess. There's something for him.
That won't last.
I did want to say one last thing. How do you feel about Brady in the coach's booth?
I don't like it.
I also really don't like it. It's being downplayed massively.
It is.
Again, for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, in the Chargers-Raiders game that happened last week, Tom Brady, who is a part owner of the Raiders, he's a minority owner of the Raiders, also calls games on Sundays for Fox. Nobody in the history of the world has ever done this because it's a massive conflict of interest, because when you're an announcer, you go in and you interview the teams during the week and find out what they've been working on, what they're trying to do, what the players are concerned about, what the coaches are concerned about. And last week, Tom Brady, on his day off, went in and sat in the coach's booth with a headset at the Raiders game versus the Chargers. Now, granted, the Chargers beat the shit out of the Raiders, and the Raiders looked really bad. I love this take that one of the reasons Geno Smith looked so bad was because he was getting coaching from 2 people, Tom Brady and the actual coaching staff. Yeah. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just Geno being Geno, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think ultimately. But this idea of Tom Brady being allowed special treatment makes me so mad.
But where I'll end it with this is I love Bruce Arian, and he was on the Pat McAfee show the other day, and he's very... just open. He will not candy coat anything. He goes, first off, these meetings where we meet with the broadcasters is pure bullshit. He goes, we don't fucking tell them anything. We just give them the broadest shit. We'll tell them just stuff they saw. And he goes, the second thing is, I've worked with Brady watching film. That motherfucker can sit and watch film and know what we're going to do long before any coach tells him what we're going to do.
That's fair.
Which is true with that. And I'm like, okay, but I still don't like him up there.
It's a massively bad look.
Yes.
It looks so bad.
Honestly, I would rather him just say, don't be a commentator anymore.
Right?
Don't do that.
Just go be an owner. If you want to be an owner, great. You're bad at being a commentator anyway. You're not good at it. The only reason you're doing it is for the paycheck, which you don't need anymore. You never needed it in the first place, but now you really don't need anymore. You're being paid more to be a bad commentator than anyone else is being paid to be any level of commentator. Just stop being a commentator.
And next year, the Raiders are drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to have you training with the quarterback?
Wouldn't that be like? Why don't you just become
the quarterback
owner, offensive coordinator, or something?
Well, I don't even think like Chip Kelly's okay off. I wouldn't even say that. Just be quarterback coach.
Speaking of coordinators that should not be head coaches.
Yeah, Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to move on. We're already going long.
We really got to move on.
We got to move on. So we got to talk. We're going to finish up. We're going to give a quick, brief rundown on the Nintendo Direct.
Yes.
I'm assuming
which
you
was
watched
very
Nintendo
interesting.
Direct.
We rewatched it this morning. I had watched it before, and then we rewatched it.
So I have a list here of the announcements. We can go down.
I do
the
too.
List.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, so started with the Mario Brothers 40th anniversary, and let me preface this by saying I think it is official, and I can say this now. I am 100% a Nintendo fanboy.
All right.
And this Direct really stuck that to me.
All right.
So the Mario Galaxy movie announcement.
Interesting.
Love it.
Intrigued.
It's okay.
I would be more excited if I'd liked the last movie more.
Yeah.
I have my issues with the last movie have not declined with time. They are still the exact same as they were when I walked out of the theater. And putting Chris Pratt's face up even with a new picture doesn't make me any happier about it. The rest of the cast, great. I don't care about that. I still question having Keegan-Michael Key, who again I have nothing against, but he should not be Toad.
No.
So like, it's fine. I have questions like I had at the end of the movie.
What I give them credit for is it worked exactly what they were hoping, because I was watching the Direct with my son, and when it went up over the castle into space, he lost his shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what they were
I'm
going
excited for it. I just don't have a lot of faith in the people
it's gonna
behind
be more of the
it.
same.
This is my thing. Is that
gonna
ultimately
look
it's going to be
nice,
the same
it's gonna
as
be fun,
yeah,
but it's not going to have any substance.
You're still going to have moments where Mario is explained how power-ups work or what a Yoshi is, and you're like,
Which still was weird that they had that Yoshi
we shouldn't be doing
egg
this.
at the end of the first one, and then they're going to Mario
I still
Galaxy.
say there should be Star Child and have Wario be the bad guy, and he becomes the good guy by the end, and there's a third bad guy who's the actual bad guy. I don't know. I don't think that this is going to be a good movie. I think it's going to look good. And everything else about it's going to be fine. Yeah, Aladdin. 2019's Aladdin made $1 billion.
It's coming out in, March, I think?
Yeah.
So that's smart, too. It's like, we're going to put it out when nothing else is coming out. And it's
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's true. Shit, that's going to be tough.
So you can take your kids to Mario and then sneak out.
No, because my son wants to see Mortal Kombat.
That's how you're going to get him into the theater for Mortal Kombat.
No, I still think I'll never get him in, because he watched a movie with my neighbor and their kids.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm like, he already watched the R-rated movie. Like, my wife knows it. So I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
So then we move on. So part of this and part of the 40th anniversary is Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 is getting released on Switch and Switch 2. I don't hate... People are going nuts over the price, $70. $40 individual games digitally, or $70 to get them both. The one thing Nintendo's always done, and I do give them credit for this, even though it frustrates me, is they say, our shit is top notch, and we're going to charge a premium for it. It's just the fucking way it is. It's the way they've always been.
Well, to the point where, going back to our GameStop conversation, I've gone into GameStops my entire life, and I always go over to the Nintendo section. Yesterday I did this, and the pre-owned versions of games from 10 years ago are still full price. Yeah. They always will be.
And it's like, and I can kind of see what they're saying, because a lot of games that come out on Xbox and PlayStation, people like me are like, I'll just wait a few months when it drops in price.
Yeah.
And they don't buy it right away.
Yeah.
Where Nintendo's like, no, our shit's fucking good.
Yeah.
You're going to buy this shit full, unless it's Metroid Other M, and it'll be in the Five Below for a while.
Or shovelware.
Exactly.
Shovelware garbage.
But like, their top flight games, they're going to be like, dude, our shit's the shit. Yeah. And we're going to fucking charge. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Speaking of top flight games, Donkey Kong is getting DLC.
It is getting DLC, which I'm kind of... I'm still working through that game. Because I'll tell you why I haven't finished it yet. But that'll be in a second. I'm interested in the DLC. It looks neat, but it looks like almost kind of throwaway DLC. Like, I don't really necessarily need it.
It seems like the Lost levels more than anything.
Yeah.
It's like, here's another collectible, here's another thing, here's another thing, here's another thing.
Trying to get legs out of the game. Which, once again, I am disappointed that it wasn't stuff for Mario Kart.
Yeah. This is the thing, is that the ultimate reason that I want to talk about this is because really what I take away from it is the hope that there will be DLC for other stuff.
Yeah.
maybe at some point down
the
line.
Well, we already saw there's DLC announced for games that haven't even fucking come out yet,
Yeah.
like Pokemon. It's like,
Yeah.
how the fuck are you doing DLC
Yeah.
for a game that hasn't even fucking come out yet?
Oh, but 2 different Raichus. I am excited for the 2 different Raichus.
Yeah, but still, it's like, dude, fucking, for people that are complaining, well, it should be part of the game, how can you fight that complaint when you're putting out DLC before the fucking game comes out?
And I just, nothing I saw in this Direct makes me super excited about this Pokemon game. I'm still in the exact same position I was in coming into the Direct.
I'm assuming there's going to be a standalone Pokemon Direct.
Apparently there's already been one.
No, but like, just for this game,
yeah,
there's got to be.
I hope so, because every time I see anything from this game, I'm like, I don't know. I want this to be good, but even in this Direct, they show us one battle.
Yeah.
And it is a out-of-turn battle, where it's just like, in the universe, in the overworld battling. And I'm like, but I don't want that. I know that was also in Arceus, and that it's part of the same line, but I don't want that. I want it to be a turn-based game.
See, I'm wondering if Nintendo's being smart this time and they got a full build of the game and they're like, no, you got to fix this fucking thing.
I
there's
hope
some
so.
issues with it, and that's why they haven't shown it. That's the only thing I can think of.
Because, I just, coming into this, they were like, oh, here's the new Z-A footage. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And?
See, I'm wondering if they're being a little more strict, because Star Wars Outlaws, it wasn't part of this. But that game, when they were showing the previews for the Switch 2, it looked like dog shit. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, you didn't see or hear anything, and there were no review copies. And then it came out. That thing runs like a fucking top. People were blown away by how well.
See, I'm not even worried about it not running well. I'm worried about some of the stylistic choices. The fact that there is no overworld. The entire game takes place in a city. Okay. That's interesting.
It could be good if it's like a Grand Theft Auto city, though. Like a big...
Could be, but there's a lot of Pokemon that wouldn't normally be in cities, you would think. And so that's the part that I'm like, I don't know. I know any Pokemon could be in a city, but I mean, one of the things I loved about Arceus was finding these big groups of wild giant Pokemon, and I just don't know that that's going to have the same effect walking down a block.
Yeah, it's going to be curious.
And this whole idea of but there's 3 tiers to the city. There's the rooftops, and then the street level, and then underground. It's like, I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm just saying I have not seen anything in any of these previews that makes me think this is going to be as good as Arceus.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I've been saying the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong.
I would say I think even though you say you're not worried about it running great, I think that's their number one concern because of Scarlet and Violet being such horribly running games.
I mean, they run great on the Switch too.
Well, they do on the Switch too, but I think they're paranoid now.
Yeah.
After that initial fallout.
Yeah.
That they're like, we got to make sure this thing's really tight.
Well, it's to the point where Violet is almost an entirely different game when it's running properly.
Yeah.
The spawn rate for Pokemon in Violet is so different on the Switch too.
I think Kelly's playing it on Switch 2 right now. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that's what I've heard about it, because I'm not a Pokemon game player, but I've heard that it's like night and day difference.
It's a night and day difference. You can find shiny so much easier when playing on Switch 2 because the spawn rate is fully different than it was on Switch, because it could not spawn in the amount of Pokemon that it was programmed to spawn in, which is also why it ran like shit all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's just I'm sure that this is going to run better, but if the base game underneath it is not satisfying, then you're going to end up on the other side of the equation. It's you're going to have fixed the offense at the sacrifice of the defense.
That's true.
And you're just okay, well, now it runs well, but I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Violet not running well. I played the shit out of that game because it was really, really fun to play. If the base game isn't fun, but it runs really well, that's just as big, if not even more of a problem.
Well, that is true. That would be something to keep an eye on. Once again, I assume there's going to be not only a standalone direct for that, but one for Metroid Prime 4, which they did show in this.
We'll see. I think it comes out before the end of the year, though, so they're running out of time.
Well, they both
that.
come out.
Yeah.
Metroid's I think Pokemon's in October.
I think Pokemon is late October, early November.
Yeah, so that's coming out fucking soon.
Yeah.
But the fact that neither one of those games have seen... So, yeah, Metroid Prime is December 4th. Oh, it doesn't give the launch date, but I'm pretty sure it's October.
I think it is October.
Game. So they don't have a lot of time for it, but
no.
Part of me also wonders if they're just like, you know what, we don't have to have direct. It's fucking Pokemon's going to sell.
I will say, one of the other Pokemon games that did come out that does give me hope for Pokemon, even though it terrified me while I was watching the trailer, was the not Animal Crossing Pokemon game.
Pokopia?
Yeah. Pokopia.
I don't know, man. That thing fucking was weird.
So here's the thing. I love the concept of it. I love the concept of it's Animal Crossing, but with Pokemon, and you invite the Pokemon that you want onto the island, and the Pokemon help you terraform the island how you want. It's the human-facing Ditto that I have a problem with.
Dude,
that's the part
weird.
that freaks me out. I don't care for it. I don't care if it's male, female, anything. That's not the problem. The problem is it being human-facing. That's the part that I have a problem with.
One of the biggest complaints from people were like, couldn't you have just made it a person that just happened to be on this island and they're working together with Pokemon?
I don't even mind it being a Ditto so it can copy the moves of other Pokemon. That's a great concept. It's that it turns into a child. That's the part that it loses me on. Dude, where I'm just like, terrifying. It has these weird arms and this bad face, and you're just like, I don't care for this. I love everything around it. I love the look of it. I love the music to it. I love the Pokemon. I love the Pokemon interaction. I love how you get to choose what Pokemon are on your island. I love that they help you make the island what you want it to be. But this is it's a choice. It's a choice.
So one of the reason I haven't finished my Donkey Kong game yet is a game that was brought up in this direct, that there is a Switch 2 version coming out and there is extra content coming out, is Super Mario Wonder. Mm-hmm. Now, I've owned that game since it came out because I bought it for my son, and I always said, man, I gotta play that. Never played it. Never fucking... So I've started playing it on the OG Switch. I just said, you know what, I'm gonna start... That game is so much fucking fun.
It is.
It is so goddamn good. And I'm playing it now like... Part of me, I like the 3D Marios. But all these people were bitching and moaning for not getting a 3D Mario. And I'm like, dude, did you even play Mario Wonder? The game is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I love the 2D Marios. And that game is so good.
I vastly prefer the 2D Marios to the 3D Marios.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The 3D Marios, there's something about having to go back to the same land to keep doing different things in the same land.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But in a Mario game, it just feels different than, like, I'm going to go to the same neighborhood in Grand Theft Auto and do the same thing I've done a million times. For some reason, when I go back to the same world in Mario that I've already been to and gotten the fanfare and like the da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to move on to the next thing.
Yes.
And, is that fair? Absolutely not. No. But like, there's just something about the 3D Marios where I just never found... It's like, there have been science studies done over... the jingle that plays when you beat a level in Mario and how it just like triggers something in your brain. And I feel like having to go back to continue to collect things that you've been told you've already completed is just like, I feel like it conflicts with that feeling that
I understand
completing a level gives you. And so playing Mario Wonder, while it is uber chaos, it is like, we played it with 3 people. It's crazy.
Oh, really?
It's fucking bonkers because the camera only follows one person.
Oh, that's nuts.
So it's just like a lot of, especially the racing levels, you're just like, I don't know what's happening. I can't see myself. Okay, I guess we're winning.
That's crazy.
And so, but like, I don't know. I love a 2D Mario way more than a 3D Mario.
And the amount of content in this thing is like, I didn't realize how big a game it is.
Yeah.
It's gigantic.
It is funny because there are times where you'll go in and you're like, oh, this is a stage. And it's like, no, this is a store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you go in and you're like, oh, this is a stage. And like, no, this is a challenge. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just like this linear playthrough.
Exactly.
There is definitely like a sense of like, again, whether this is good or not is in the eye of the beholder. I personally always go back to Super Mario World, where you go in and you start a level, and that level is its own enclosed bite. And then when you're done with that level, you move on to the next level.
Yeah.
And if you want to go back and get the secrets or replay it, you can, but like you move on to the next thing. And you know that when you start the next level, it's also going to be a level. Whereas like, you know, certain things are going to be like a secret room or a ghost house or a power switch or something. Like the world map tells you what kind of level it's going to be. And I think they do that in Mario Wonder too. But my old ass, I just see level, hit A, go level, and then I'm shocked when I find out what I'm supposed to be doing on the other side. I'm like, oh, I'm not killing anything? Okay, it shows how old I am. My first move is to kill it.
To kill it. Oh, that sounded bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a great game, and so there is a Switch 2 version, and it has some weird added states.
It has some Switch 2
I don't know if
to
I'll
it.
Update that.
Yeah, I do find it really fun. One of the things I loved about this Direct was the peripherals that they announced for everything.
Oh, the Virtual Boy?
The
$100
We're gonna get to
Boy?
the Virtual Boy because holy shit. I love that Mario Galaxy, they're making the book.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
That's
the talking
so fucking
flower
cool.
from Wonder.
The talking flower from Wonder. The amiibos all look great. All the peripherals look great until we got to the Virtual Boy, and then I was like, but are you sure?
You know what? It's goofy as fuck.
It's going to give migraines
that
again.
was the most amazing thing. I'm like, of all the dumb shit they could do, this is the dumbest shit, and
We're going to bring back the Power Glove
it.
next.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like, they probably will.
Just look at it. I'm like, who was asking for the Virtual Boy? Who, like, since I was a child, the Virtual Boy has been synonymous with, why is everything red? I have a headache.
Yeah.
That's all the Virtual Boy has been the entire time.
I was listening to one of my podcasts, which is Game Scoop, which is an IGN podcast, and they're talking about the Virtual Boy. And one of the hosts is like, yeah, I heard it. I thought this was stupid. I'm buying it. But and it's like, because they know that even though it's dumb, it's the coolest dumb thing.
Well, and like, I love that it's a peripheral that costs $100.
Yes!
Why? And then, like, they cut back to the executive using it, and he looks so uncomfortable.
Yes.
And he's just leaning over into it, and his eyes are covered. And I'm just looking at it like, this is the worst idea you've had in a while. And, like, I get it, but, like, this is a great bit. This is what you announced on April 1st. You say coming this fall, the Virtual Boy is coming back.
They're smart though. With these things, it's not something you can buy in a store. You have to not only be part of the online program, but you have to go to Nintendo's website to order it.
Yeah.
So it's not like something you're going to walk into Target and find it. So even they're like, we understand we're not going to sell.
I hope they're making them a la carte. You know, like,
I would assume they're making like in batches, like a batch of a few thousand.
Like that's what. I almost wish that they were like, oh, we'll put your order in, like the carts in the Mario movie, where it's just like, choose your Virtual Boy, choose what color it's gonna be, choose what the only color is that's gonna be everything in the screen.
Dude.
It's like, if you're gonna make Virtual Boys, I simply don't get it.
And I still remember I was working at Blockbuster Video when that came out.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
It's baffling to me. It's absolutely baffling. It'd be like if they announced a new Game Boy and they were going back to the original Game Boy screens.
Well, it's like them saying they're going to put out a Wii U peripheral. It's like, you're going to pick the most failed system you ever had?
We're bringing back the Wavebird.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, the Wavebird fucking rocked.
I'm not saying the Wavebird didn't rock.
Dude.
I am saying that it at this time is fully not something that you could bring back because everything is wireless.
Bring back a Wavebird that works on modern consoles.
You have wireless controllers already.
No. But the Wavebird, that form factor and shape, I would buy 6 of them. That's still my favorite controller ever.
You can get the GameCube controller as a wireless controller.
It's not the Wavebird though.
You want the extra heft on the back.
Fucking Wavebird,
I want someone to come up with a new wireless N64 controller where you still have to get the rumble pack and plug it into the back.
Or getting like Dreamcast games in the Virtual Console where you have to get the VMU and put it in there.
Yes.
Dude, I fucking love the VMU.
Oh my god.
All right, so I am excited also. There was a game I'm shocked they didn't really show in this. So I'm excited about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know I could get it for the PS5 because my son has it, but I still might get it on the Switch 2. There's a game they didn't bring up in this that I forgot is coming out in a couple weeks, and I have it pre-ordered, and I'm excited. Did you ever play Final Fantasy Tactics?
Oh, yeah.
The Invalis Chronicles is coming out?
The updated one, yeah.
Dude.
It looks amazing.
They
added voice acting. This is what I wanted from Final Fantasy VII. I didn't want them to remake Final Fantasy VII with new graphics. Well, I did. Let me rephrase. I wanted them to update Final Fantasy VII. I didn't want them to change Final Fantasy VII. And so this looks like they just updated Tactics. It's the same thing. It just has voice acting. It has a few new whistles and bells to it. I'm like, I never was a Tactics guy. I tried it. I want to like it because I go back and forth on those kind of games. I always want to like them, but if I check out, I check out. And it's really hard for me to check back in. And so I really want to like this game.
Well, I loved the PSP. I was a huge PSP guy. And one of the most technically amazing and fantastic games was War of the Lions, which was, I believe, is part of this collection because it's Final Fantasy Tactics. Such a great game. And to be able to play these games, like you said, just cleaned up a little bit, and a little bit better with the voice acting, I am so fucking on board.
I just don't want Cloud to have Popeye arms. That was all I wanted. I didn't need all this. I didn't need a whole new story. I just wanted Cloud to not have Popeye arms.
Yeah, it's still baffling to me that they did that full remake like that.
Yeah. I have no problem with them doing it. It was something that people had asked for so long.
Yeah.
And so when they finally did it, I was like, oh, good, they're finally doing it. And then it still took them a long time to make it. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you need to do it? And then it came out like, oh, they're making it better. And it's like, I don't need it better. Yeah. I just need it to look cool and run better, and everything else can be exactly the same.
Well, and going off Final Fantasy VII, I'm gonna kind of what you said about when announcing things. I do give Nintendo credit for this. You watch these directs. You watch a state of play. They'll show you a cinematic trailer for a game that comes out in 3 years.
Yeah.
You watch the Nintendo Direct, like, oh, this game comes out in 2 months.
Yeah.
This game comes out at the end of the year. It's like, that's what I fucking love about these.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Pokemon game, that's in, like, 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There were a lot of things in this Direct that I was actually really interested in. I am a huge Koei guy. I have been since I was a teenager. First off, Hyrule Warriors, I'm super excited for, because as I joked with Kelly, and it's not really a joke, it's almost a criticism, but I'm going to call it a joke so people don't get offended. We finally get all the story that they decided not to write for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
They looked at all the story that they still had to write, and they were like, but do we have to? I don't want to do that. I'm too busy working on the physics. I can't write the story.
Let's put it in one of those Dragon
We'll
Warrior
do something
games.
else.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm glad that we're finally going to have characters with names. I think like the limited ceiling of here's a character and here's his name.
Yeah.
That's like they didn't even reach that level. And so like I'm glad that we're finally going to fill in that gap. But like a new Dynasty Warriors?
Dude, that looks pretty fun.
A new Dynasty Warriors? Ooh. Oh, okay. Now we might be talking, because that was my shit, man. So like new Dynasty Warriors. Ooh.
Dynasty Warriors Origins Switch 2 edition.
Ooh, that's
another one that has DLC before the game releases.
Yeah, so I'm very interested in those. I like the look of the new Yoshi game. I think that looks really good. It
looks good, but I'm kind of worried because like I loved I enjoyed the Yoshi's yarn that was on. Yeah. But they were just too easy. Like they made them like, this is really a kid's game.
It does look like a kid's game.
Yes.
Not like a family game, but like a kid's game.
Yeah.
I love the concept of it's a book that can't read itself. I think that's really fun. I love that that's how all the worlds are presented, is you have to jump into this book. I really like it. I want to see a difficulty arc in it because, you know, Yoshi's Island was one of the hardest games I ever played.
Fucking brutal.
So, like, just because it's Yoshi doesn't mean it's a kid's game.
Yeah.
So I do want to see what they do with this. I just, like, I love the look of it. I can't help it. I just really love the look of it. And that in and of itself is enough to capture my imagination.
Yeah.
That, and I'm also really excited for Kirby Air Riders or whatever it's called.
Which looks, and they're going to do a second direct for that.
Yeah. A dedicated direct.
Two standalone dedicated directs for a fucking Air Rider game.
So but like if it's another racing game and it's good.
Well, I will always give Sakurai the benefit of the doubt.
See, this is the thing, is that it looks like what we've been talking about and what I hope that they do. What I hope it ends up being is when we did our Mario Kart World Tour review, we lamented that they got rid of all the tertiary characters.
Yes.
Who aren't Mario specific related. If this is a quiet launch of a Super Smash Brothers racing game, because it's by the same guys that did Super Smash Brothers and Kirby and all of this other stuff, it looks like Smash. It has a lot of the same feels as Smash. If this becomes like not just Kirby characters, because let's be real here, it's not like there's a wealth of Kirby characters, you know? So as long as this doesn't become Diddy Kong Racing, this could be really good, and the amiibos are really cool.
The amiibos are
really cool.
Those amiibos are still going to be $50 a piece.
Oh, absolutely they are. Oh, 100%. You're getting two amiibos in one.
They're putting out some great amiibos nowadays, but man, there's like $30-$40.
This is the thing, is that I love the peripherals. I want them all to have meaning and purpose.
Yes.
Because if there's one thing I would tell you about the amiibos, is that they look great on a shelf and they have no intense purpose within the game, which is by design, right? Because you don't want to have a peripheral that changes the game so dramatically that you have to have the peripheral in order to play the game. However, if you're gonna
I do
go
admit,
all out,
when I was playing Breath of the Wild, I used all my Zelda.
oh, me
amiibos.
too, because they were a great way to farm equipment
Yep.
and forageables, and you might get some really cool swag to go with it.
Yeah.
So like that is a great way to use amiibos. I love the idea of being able to train your rider and your cart separately.
That would be awesome.
That's great. That's awesome. So I just want to see you guys kind of land this bird. That's all.
Well, and like this direct, and I do have to say it ended with my fave of all faves with Fire Emblem. I am one of the biggest Fire Emblem fans, and so the fact that we're getting another Fire Emblem early next year makes me excited.
More characters to put in a racing
what
game.
What I love about this direct, and what I wish more people online would just fucking take a breath and understand. They're complaining about, a lot of people complained about this direct, saying, oh, well, the games and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know about this first year of Switch 2. Dude, look at the games that are standalone games for PlayStation and Xbox over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
There were that many games in one fucking direct for Switch 2, this direct.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you think about this year, we got a new Mario Kart. We got a new top-of-the-line Donkey Kong game. We're getting a new Pokemon game. We're getting a new Metroid game. We're getting a new Kirby Air Rider game. We're getting a fucking... the Zelda game. The
Hyrule Warriors is coming out.
It's like, dude, look at all of those games in like an 8-month period. Mm-hmm. Not even 6 months. It came out in June.
Yeah.
6-month period, all those games for not only, people are still saying, oh, well, the Switch 2. Dude... There are still 150 million people that bought Switch 1, so don't get pissed if they're still going to put out games for Switch 1.
Yeah.
150 million fucking people.
No, exactly. And honestly...
They're still making PS4 games, so shut the fuck up.
Yes. And, I don't know if this is still true, but I come from an era where games that came out in that in-between time were some of the best games.
Yeah.
Because, like, you look at that time, that glue point between Nintendo and Super Nintendo, some of the best fucking Nintendo games came out during that glue point. So, like... There's still really good stuff.
Yeah.
And on top of it, I do like the Switch 2. I go back and forth on it's all you're buying is a better processor.
Yes.
There's other things that you're also getting, but what you're buying is a better processor. And so I go back and forth on that, but the fact that so many of these games you can play on Switch and you don't have to have a second copy, you can just game share it over your Wi-Fi. That's exactly what I wanted, man. That's all I wanted. Yep. And so I look at this, and the fact that they're still coming out with, like, they have, in the same direct, they have this Yoshi game, which may or may not be for very little kids, as they have, oh, hey, here's every Mortal Kombat you've ever wanted to play ever.
And the fucking new Resident Evil game coming, launching day and date on the Switch 2.
Yes.
And it looked fucking awesome. I'll be honest, when that game started, I got a full erection because I thought it was going to be a remake of Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. Uh-huh. Because it looked a lot like... I was like, is it? And then I was like, oh, it's just Resident Evil.
It's just Resident Evil.
Because that is one game that I don't know if they just can't get the rights to it. They got to find a way to remaster that fucking game. That game is one of the greatest horror games ever made. It's just languishing on the GameCube.
There's a list of those kind of products in media that are just scattered around. Because it reminds me of Dogma. It's like this great piece of media that is so of its time and has a really big thing to say, and yet because of distribution issues, you can't find it anywhere.
But even that one finally going to start
coming around. So it's like everything in its time. Willow for the longest time. Yeah. Disney did not release DVDs of it. They did not release Blu-rays of it. They did not do anything, and then eventually the vaults opened.
Well, last year, the two big ones last year for me were The Abyss and True Lies.
Yeah.
They were on DVD only for like ever, and then all of a sudden here's the 4K. I was like, oh, thank fucking God.
Here we go, finally.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah,
but yeah, so it's I'm very excited. I love my Nintendo. And, there are gripes here and there, but the Switch 2 I love, and it primarily is my Donkey Kong / Fortnite system right now. As soon as Donkey Kong's done, I did get the updated No Man's Sky, which I hear is spectacular on it.
I've also heard it's really good.
So I got the updated version of that, so I'm going to be playing that next. But on Switch 1, I'm playing my Mario. I still have a couple RPGs that I'm going to play. I'm playing a lot of the games on the Switch 1 that are not like overly taxing. Yeah. Like my Octopath Travelers and Live Alive and all that stuff. So it's just a great mix right now. Yeah. And if you can afford, for those of you listening, to not... Like, if you want to get a Switch 2 and you can afford not to trade in your Switch 1, do it. Like, get your Switch 2, keep your Switch 1, keep the game library separate, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. I think I talked about it on the show before. My Pokemon games wouldn't transfer over without me deleting them off of one hard drive. And I was like, I'm going to take this as an opportunity to replay these games. If I can't transfer them over, I might as well replay them. Now, have I done that? No, because as much as I like Sword and Violet, the starter Pokemon are kind of lacking in both of them. And so that's kind of like, I have my Grookey, and I love Grookey, and I'm kind of hot and cold on all the other 6 of them. So, but anyway, I agree with you, because I think the best way I can phrase it is, we bought a PS5 so that I could play Spider-Man 2. And I don't regret that decision. I've played the shit out of that game. Yeah. I love that game. I love that game even with its flaws. I don't look around on PlayStation for new games to buy. When I boot up my PlayStation, it is to play Spider-Man or GTA. And very rarely is it anything else. And only if other people give it to me. So, like, I might play, like, the Mad Max game or Guardians of the Galaxy, but only because we've purchased those for, other purposes. I'm not thinking, like, oh, I can't wait, I'm going to do... When I boot up the Nintendo, I always know what I'm going to do. Yeah. I always am like, okay, I'm going to play this. I'm going to do this. I want to play this. I want to try this. I want to, see this. In that regard, Nintendo has the consistency level. Yeah. Everything is the same level of consistency. The graphics are always the same level of consistency. The characters and the storytelling are always the same level of consistency for the most part. The look and feel and playability of the game are always the same level of consistency. Whereas even in a game like GTA or Spider-Man, there is an up and down kind of feel to it, of it pings and pongs, and sometimes it's good, and then other times you're like, oh, I don't want to do this mission again. I feel like this is just filler, and I don't really have that. I don't have like this massive encyclopedic gaming library that I go through for the Switch, but the ones that I always play, I never feel that. I never feel like, oh, this is just more filler to make the game feel longer.
And I've noticed, I don't know if this is just me getting older, but no, because I look back in the past, and this is true with older games too. I'm not big on cinematic games. I think the only cinematic games I really enjoyed were the Uncharted ones. But a lot of PlayStation and Xbox now, that's most of your games are going to have these tons of cinematics.
I go back and forth on QuickTime events. I just, sometimes I like them, and sometimes I don't. And sometimes they just don't work for me.
Well, and I've been listening to some commentators talking about Death Stranding too, and the joke is, like, the first hour is a cinematic. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to I want to turn on a game and be like, oh, there's Mario, wave at the castle. Oh, the princess is taken. Go fucking get her.
Let's fucking go.
That's awesome. Get me in the game. Let me do it.
Yeah. No, like, because I agree. That is a whole genre of game now. Yeah. It's not a game. It's an interactive movie. Yes. And it's fine, but it really, at that point, it super depends on the story. And if the story is no good, there's no gameplay to keep you playing.
And to steal from that internet meme, ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Yeah. Hey, if I wanted to watch a movie, I'd watch a movie.
Exactly.
I can understand in some situations, but in others, I'm like, I don't know. Like the Telltale games, I get it. For some of them, I get it. But for others, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that this was necessary.
No, I agree. I agree. Well, folks, that was our meaty.
Yeah.
Oh man, this ended up. It started kind of sad.
We found joy. What's important is that we found joy.
And I'm glad we ended with Nintendo, because that always brings me joy. Yeah. So, folks, NerdPod Generations episode 172 is in the books. We really hope you enjoyed it. We got to watch some football because there's some stuff going on right now, and I'm kind of blown away by some of these scores. So, Al, who does our artwork and our music?
Hang on, I'm looking up the scores now that you said that, because now I'm like, what happened? What happened?
The Rams-Eagles is getting closer, but it's the 34-3 Vikings over the Bengals. Woo! And Wentz has only thrown one touchdown.
Wow. So, yeah. So it's all on the ground.
It's all on the ground.
Or in the defense, which is also very possible with the Vikings. Also, Tampa fucking kicking the ass of the Jets.
Damn right.
The Jets are in trouble. I know that Fields is out with a concussion, but that is not a good look. That's not where you want to be.
Tampa.
Our artwork is by Kortney Howell. Our theme is by Brendan Williams and James Connolly. I am Alfred Judson.
And I'm Steve Taylor.
And in next week, Friends and
Enemies. I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about.
I have no idea. We had to cancel.
That's great, though. We're going to come up with something.
We're going to come up with something. That is the great thing, is that we will come up with something, because we had to cancel so many things. So Disney, it'd be really cool for multiple reasons for you to put Kimmel back on air.
Yeah. But until then, fuck
them. I don't want to hear from you. All right? You can come and talk to me when you've done the right thing. Have a great week, friends.
Friends. Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, friends. Enemies. Think really hard about how you want to phrase yourself as enemies.
Yes.